And then you got workmen in. Just feel like so they have to share the pot. You know, like that. That's how I feel.
Oh dear.
Live.
We are on. We are on. We are on.
Yeah, we are on.
It's very different today, isn't it?
Feels
It's different today, man. It's
cold.
very
It's
different
colder
today.
in here.
It's very cold.
All right.
Very cold.
In the middle of summer.
Indeed.
It's colder in there.
It's colder. It is colder. You know, there's a bit of a
breeze.
Well, I can say that there's a bit of a glow from one area of the room. From other areas of the room, it's been darkened. But we'll get into that anyway.
Okay.
We'll get into that still. But I'm gonna jump right in. I'm not gonna bother with any long thing right now. We got a lot to jump into. This is the eMpTy Podcast. Myself, Mr Wileycat DJ, and normally I would say to my left we would have Sirelli, but we got someone new.
Broken.
Sorry, who are you and why are you here?
Well, you know, man. Months. Armchair Pundits. We're every week. Hopefully, we can form some kind of collab with you, man. So yeah, just getting it cracking.
And to my right we have
James, Armchair Pundits. But yeah, same. Hopefully we can do this a few more times, innit?
And next to him we have
Citrus. Yo. These man don't know what they're selling. Can't even lie. The fire, the energy, we're ready. Yeah.
And next to him we have
Leon, another member of the Armchair Pundits, here to see what you guys are saying about your football.
and last but not least we have
Buddy in the building, aka The Truth.
So this is a collab. It is a mix-up. It is everything. It's like a whole mix-up of everything together. But I'm gonna basically introduce over to the Armchair Pundits so they can introduce who they are, what they do, see how much of their football knowledge is there, and then we're gonna jump right into the football. So I will start off with James.
What I do?
Yeah, who are you lot? What are you lot? What's
your podcast about?
What's your podcast about? Where can we find you?
How long
Who
have
are
been
you?
going for?
Originally, 13 years, but we had a long hiatus. So if you go to our YouTube, Armchair Pundits, you will see videos of myself, Leon, Lamont, Daryl, who's also on it, and a few other people who've been up before. Went away for a while, and then about 4 years ago, we decided why not come back. So came back, myself and Leon did a show. Then Daryl, who's not here, was like, "Yo, you did it without me." So he jumped on, and then we got Lamont on again last year.
Yep.
So yeah,
And Bevan as well.
Bevan as well. He's jumped on with Lamont last season as well. But yeah, find us on YouTube. We've got our stuff on TikTok as well, and we've also on Instagram.
So just out of interest, being that you are so football centric, what teams do you all support?
Obviously, the aura's coming from this side of the room, so I'll start. I support United.
Start from the bottom.
No.
Which United?
That's how you work. You know, start from the bottom, innit?
I get it. Man United, obviously. Manchester
Jesus
United.
Lord. I need to just move over.
No, you're right where you are. You're right where you are. But
As we're starting from the bottom, next team.
Spurs, innit?
It's all right.
We got a trophy at last, innit? So
For real.
we'll take it.
Straight to the top. Liverpool, of course.
Okay.
There we go. And as you can see, I got my Liverpool shirt, and so I ain't got to disclose who I support. But he's got his shirt on. But Citrus, no one actually really knows. All the years, we don't ever talk about who you support, brother.
I support the eMpTy Podcast, my bro. Wait. Let me not do this, bro. All right then. After I was crying because. All right then. I didn't want to do it. But just in case some shots were coming. All right, cool.
Just in case these shots were coming.
All right, let's go.
The shots are coming, man. The shots
let's go.
coming. The shots are definitely coming. So, like has been said, do make sure you follow the Armchair Pundits podcast as well. Lots to catch on there. Lots of healthy discussion. I am gonna really quickly, because something was said on there that I took real issue with, and that was with This gentleman here.
Me. I'm always saying stuff PC. So
This gentleman, this geezer here said he had Nemanja Vidić even. I'll say Vidić over Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah.
I just need to explain that because I was watching it and I was the hair I don't have. I was pulling it out of my head and I was trying to understand your perspective of that.
Listen, like I said to the man them on the podcast, it's simple for me. The caliber of strikers, they're nothing like what Vidić was playing up against every week in, week out. And he was like cream, always rising to the top. There was only a handful of strikers back then that I would say had his number. However, I would still say across the board, the quality of striker back then surpasses now. That's why Van Dijk looks like a Rolls Royce, because he's not really playing against, for me, like real striking prowess. Like
Kevin Phillips, innit?
No.
In a man there.
Like
I mean,
Thierry Henry.
Well, we were
like
working with
these
Chris
man.
Sutton.
No,
not
Chris Sutton.
I'm working with you, bro. I'm working with you.
Chris Sutton was even...
Tour Andre Flo. I mean, we're going with these players.
You're going too far back.
No, that's
My bad.
That's before Vidić's time. But what I would say is...
But you said real strikers back in the day.
The only thing I would say is when he met Torres, he did make a phenom that he probably was...
And we saw what Torres became, right?
And he found... He maybe came up wanting more often than he didn't. However, I mean, across the board, he was exceptional. So that's why, for me, VVD is sideman.
You didn't even put me top 5.
Sideman
out of 10.
I wanted to say something, Wiley. I apologize because you didn't. I think the audience might have got lost on where we was going here.
Right.
All right, because I don't know where we was going. I just heard Vidić, Van Dijk, and I could jump right into that argument. But explain what the conversation and how you got to where you got to, so we can start it.
On the Armchair Pundits podcast, I did see they had, I think they were rating their top 5, top 10
of all time.
centre backs of all time.
In
I
the
believe
Prem.
in the Prem.
Okay.
And a man had Vidić so high and Van Dijk so low. And I was confused, very confused. So I didn't understand it. Still don't understand it. Don't particularly agree, but
so you upset me so much that you had to bring that up as the first comment in the
I
whole
brought him on the
thing.
podcast just for that.
Yeah,
That's what we're here today, apparently.
yeah. I mean,
There you go.
I'm not even going to comment on it because I don't think we've got enough time. So I'll let him move on swiftly.
Say that for another pod.
But
I'm happy to do another pod with you.
seriously, you can never ever put Van Dijk below Vidić. All right, when you look at what Van Dijk did in a sense of being a part of the Ballon d'Or conversation, all right, and even finishing in the top 3, whereas Vidić has never even been in that type of conversation or in that field. All right, so let's not try and put Van Dijk and Vidić's name like that because it don't really work.
You ain't got time, but you can't talk like that about Vidić and expect me just to be humble with it. Look, listen,
Vidić not even better than Rio.
be honest, yeah. Van Dijk was playing against a different caliber of striker in comparison to Vidić. That is it. Like, list your top 5 strikers that Vidić has faced against the top 5 strikers that VVD has played against, and you'll say it's Premier League versus Championship or First Division in comparison to their striking prowess. And that, for me, is where the buck stops. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not saying VVD is not good. He's just not as good as everyone's, making him out to be, in my opinion.
You know where you can only dominate an era that you're in. So right now, just taking a little bit away from football, Usyk is probably the best. Is the best heavyweight in the world and undisputed. No one can't tell me nothing. He conquered all of Britain, all right, and done it calmly, all right. Are you now going to say he's not a legend because he hasn't fought the right caliber? So we can't put him in the same conversation as someone like Lennox Lewis or any of the greats, the Evander Holyfields, because then it starts getting stupid. People do Roy Jones and Floyd Mayweather, again, taking a little bit to boxing, but Floyd, they're having an argument at the moment saying that Floyd Mayweather never fought no one. He went 50-0. Just leave him alone. Like, there's no conversation. He fought the best at his time. Don't now say, well, you never fought this person. You never fought Sugar Ray Leonard. Because I couldn't.
In that instance, it's a little bit different though, because it's horses for courses, isn't it? Like, boxing is boxing, football's football, in my opinion.
But it's the same thing you're now saying to me. Vidić faced Henry, Van Dijk faced Mbappe. So what? I mean, I still don't understand where you're going with this.
Final point on it, because we haven't even started.
I don't know how much time you got, but to keep it moving.
We're already on beef. But normally, Rain would be here. Shout out to Rain. Shout out to Sirelli. Shout out to Tongo. Rain would normally be here. He would normally do a roundup, but obviously Rain's not here. So today we're doing Wagwan with Wiley.
Wagwan.
I just thought I would come with the W's and the W's and W's. So
trying to arrange round that thing,
you know, got to come up with something. So in the news right now is Thomas Partey. The size say it all. So he's facing currently 5 charges of rape. Now the question is two points to it. One, should Arsenal have done something at the point of where he was being investigated? Because we understand this has been going on for 2 years now, nearly 3 years. And 2, what is going on with footballers in these young men and finding themselves in these positions where they shouldn't do? And I'm thinking more of the Benjamin Mendy's, the Chet Evans, these footballers. How are they finding themselves in it? So let me go straight default to the Arsenal man. Do you think your club should handle it any differently?
Ex-Arsenal players.
Yes, well, but at the point when you
I don't want to influence because the investigation is still live. True. So we don't know who's watching this. I don't want to influence it. However, I've got a double strand of thought. All jokes aside, if there's suspicion, that's one thing. If there's conviction, that's another. So I could suspect all of you for doing exactly the same thing. If it's just suspicion with no evidence, hasn't gone to trial, hasn't been brought, blah, 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 it's still just suspicion. You get what I mean? Yeah. Unless internally we have evidence to say we actually know this has happened. So we're going to suspend you pending an investigation, then that's something else. However, because this didn't necessarily happen in your workplace, then I say you have to follow the system of the law of the land that you're in. This is one school of thought. The other school of thought, which I'm not too happy about with Arsenal, is if they knew and were trying to be clever and cover it up, because the part that I'm still wrestling with is his contract finished on the 1st of August and the arrest was made on the 3rd of August.
But don't forget, Arsenal still was trying to sign him, re-sign him as well.
Yeah. This was before the 1st of August. So
yeah.
Something had happened during whatever they was going through with their own investigations where they thought to themselves, no God. You get what I mean? So at that point, something had changed, didn't it? Something had happened. And at that point, you have to say the integrity of the club, what happened? And then they're not going to say it because of what's going on now. And then by the time the trial's over and whatever else, they're going to say, well, he's been convicted or he's been let off and it's now no longer an issue. Here's a club statement and we're done. So I don't know. I'm 50-50 with it. However, until the trial is done, I'm just going to leave it where it is.
Leon, what's your take on it? What do you think about the whole situation in terms of how the club handled it?
It's difficult to say. I mean, in this country, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. And at this point, we don't know all of the details of the case. So from an Arsenal perspective, it obviously looks bad because everyone assumes that he's guilty, but we've seen it with other players like Mendy as a perfect example where he was found innocent. And, you know, we're not saying that these guys never or they've put themselves in a situation where they can easily be got out. But at the same time, if they're innocent of doing the things that they've been sort of charged with or accused of, I should say, I think the club has a duty to also take care not just of the player, but of the image. So I understand from both sides why Arsenal haven't done anything. And right now, I mean, hasn't he earned a move to another club already?
Yeah,
exactly. And there's not really been much hoo-ha about it. So I think over here in this country, and I think in obviously some of America as well, once these things come out, I think everyone kind of goes at the club or goes at the team they play for immediately. But I am not sure if that's the right way to go about it. So I don't really have, I have to agree. If the club knows something, I can understand you basically suspending the player, putting them on garden leave, whatever, to make sure they're not playing. But if they don't have evidence and it has to still go to court, then I don't think they've done anything wrong in that instance.
See, I remember there was a I'm not going to name him because he was never named in the media, but I remember he was playing for Everton.
Gylfi Sigurdsson.
I'm not going to name him. Yeah, no, that's cool. Because we don't know, because officially it wasn't ever named as, allegedly it was him. But the point being is, I remember there was a whole thing with him. He wasn't charged, but he was suspended by the club. He didn't play at all until his
career
contract
is
done.
over.
Yeah,
Basically.
madness. Buddy,
I'm actually not going to comment on it. To be fair, I'll let it go over to James. And you lot do. No, a reason why I say, because you know what the funniest thing is, how the club dealt with it. Do you know what I mean? They dealt with it like it got dealt with, and I don't think there's anything more to say about it. To be honest with you, what he's being charged with, you have to look at what he's being charged with. And when I looked into it, and I actually only looked into it today, and I saw these are with relationships, things that happened within a relationship, and what he's being charged with. So when you look into it, it's like, well, all right. I mean, these are just.
I think we just wait for the evidence.
Yeah. And that's why I said
You
there's
don't
not
wanna
much
put
to say.
You don't want to put yourself in.
Yeah.
as a flip to that though, and if we look at, even if we're taking it aside, looking at the football element of it, you got the Ched Evans case, you got the Mendy case, but you've also got the actor, the Top Boy actor, is it Michael Ward?
Yeah.
He's been. What is going on that people are not being aware of what they can and can't do?
Because when you're famous, there's certain things that you can and can't do.
Access.
Like, do you know what I mean? When you're in the limelight, like there's certain precautions that you need to do before you do certain things. And like, if we all became famous in this room, I can't honestly sit there and say to you that I'm going to take those precautions before I go and do something. If I was doing something out there, I'd have to say to myself, well, look, you need to sign this. I need you to do this. I need to video this, or whatever the situations that they have to deal with to get through. And some of them don't go through that, and then they get extorted. And that's what it's about.
So when it comes down to it, right, and I know this for fact, that a friend of mine who is a very close friend to a professional footballer, when they go out, my friend's job is to make sure any gal that
Circles.
their man are circling around, he'll just go to them and say, listen,
Not today.
no thanks. No, and these girls are like, rah, like he's a famous footballer. And I want to chat. Like, no. And any of the females that are allowed to chat to him, my friend's job is to take the woman aside, ask her a series of questions, and saying, if you're going to do anything, you need to sign a non-disclosure. And it's all crazy. Like, it's all crazy. And when you think sometimes these people have like large entourages, I'm saying if it was like, as Buddy said, us, then Wiley, you're going to have to be the guy that with the paperwork and say, sign this, print this, video this, say, and it's all mad. However, we're looking at it like it's, like, if we're going to be honest in it, like it's physical rape. A man has taken a woman down and physically just raped her.
That's what
Whereas it could be,
it wasn't that.
we were having sex and she said, stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, not yet.
Yeah.
And that's enough. Do you get what I mean? Your agent ain't going to be in a room with you at the time saying, look, she said not yet, so I think you should finish. Do you get what I mean? So it's all about, it's this whole perception, and like the whistles, when they whistle, they're loud now because you're getting trial by media. Do you get what I'm saying? So it comes down to a lot of things, and no disrespect, if a guy's or a woman in their early 20s, like earning a good load of money, go out and have a good time, see someone attractive and think to himself, I want to talk to that person a bit more, take them home and blah, blah, blah. If they've been drinking or under any influence, in the back of their mind, are they thinking, 1 second, let me get you to sign this or say that or whatever else the case is. So I think it's very difficult, but I do understand, and shout goes out to Man United. Alex Ferguson pressed all of his players, go and get married. I don't care how old you are, 16? Yeah, go. You got a
Part of
fiancé?
his interview process.
Yeah.
You got
Go and get married.
How long you been together? That's how he patterns them. But obviously, just to kind of jump on what you were talking about there, I think sometimes in them situations, with all those guys that you mentioned, they need to look a little bit closer to home, like in their circle. Because clearly, I know that when you're stepping out, if you've got, your name's out there and in the media, you should have certified people around you. You shouldn't be going out there, stepping out and just have a bag of yes man around you. Because
Yeah, but
that's
Lamont,
for me-
but say if you're just with the man them,
right.
and you're having a drink, but the rest of us all having a drink, so now we're all under some form of influence.
I hear it.
Do you get what I mean?
I hear it, but I'm
You
just
also,
saying,
you
when you
also
get,
know the pitfalls of this. You
Right.
also know, you see how many men are getting accused of things, whether rightly or wrongly. You have to, if you're in a public eye, you have to know that these things can happen. So you have to make calculated decisions all the time.
the
But
risk,
bro, I'm 17, I'm 18, I'm 23, I'm young, I've got I've got in my pocket right now what you lot earn in a year.
I mean,
I've got that on me,
so the
so
take
I
out-
can do whatever I want. And all of my boys
There's-
are with me saying, "Look, if we go out in
There's
Citrus,
so much levels.
there's
though.
going to be champagne on tap. There's going to be party girls all around us. Like everything's great." So, is there going to be one of the boys saying, "Actually,
You
lads,
have to have someone. Though.
You
no,
have to.
no
have to
more
have
drinking,
someone.
There has to be.
no this,
No,
no
they
that."
have to be.
Can I
Pay
say something to you
someone.
guys?
You got that much money, you
Pay
pay someone to do
Fair
that.
enough. to you guys. None of this is what he's getting done for. He's actually getting done for
Yeah.
wrong hole.
Yeah.
So we can
Yeah.
continue.
No, but
That-
no, the funny thing is,
That's one of the things. That is
Yeah.
one of the
It's not-
things.
Yeah.
I'll show
it's not.
I'll show it to you.
It's not just that.
Not just that.
Because
It's
there's
not
5
just that.
counts.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
5
there's
counts.
There's
That's
5
one of them.
counts to the wrong.
No, there's about 3 of them that are that with
Okay.
2 different girls.
But that's in terms of the party case. But in terms
saying
of other
generally
cases,
people,
yeah.
generally
Yeah.
we're seeing it
Yeah.
societal
The
wise.
pattern,
It's a pattern.
I
Sorry.
think what I was gonna say as well. I think like the clubs need to do a bit more, especially for the younger, less mature professionals that they've got on their roster. Because ultimately, if they want to have like this figurehead that's going to go out and represent them, then they need to put the right things in place to support them when they're stepping out because they're naive.
I mean,
Like a lot of
let's-
these boys have
let's
been
be
in
real.
one sec, but a lot of these boys have been in that kind of environment for their entire life. So they don't understand what it is to step out and draw a gal, talk to this person, talk to that person. They don't understand that when they're being ginnels, though, you know, when someone's trying to talk to them and try and twang them a little bit to get them, you know, go around there and talk to this gal and get, you know, I want 20 bags tomorrow. Like, they don't understand all of that. So for them, it's home, train, eat, go to, you know, gym and go play ball tomorrow. So there's a lot of naivety in there. And, you know, you touched on Ferguson. He was and is one of those guys that would say, this is what I'm expecting from my players. And, you know, this is the support we're going to put around them, the safety net, if you like. You can even call it helicopter managing. Do you know what I mean? Where they're on every button. But these boys are also got to look to themselves when they're getting into their 20s, 30s and say, you know what can I put in place around me? I need an extra safety blanket just to say, you know what, this is the distance I want. You said your brethren does the whole NDA. Good. That's what you should be doing.
That education has got to come from
Yeah.
somewhere else
Yeah.
because, as you said, it's
Right,
about youth,
right.
right? They're young, they don't know. So that information has to come from senior players who've been down the road, players who've retired, who've been down this road. They need to not just educate those guys, they need to educate the people around them, their families, the friends. This is what it's going to be about. This is what you need to do. And you hear it all the time, retired players saying how they've ended up being extorted, they've lost money, they've lost families because of certain moves that they've made. But for them, that information needs to be passed down. That's the only way you're going to learn.
It's like, so the point I was going to make, it's like, as the clubs, we should be saying or pressing them to say, do you know what? You should have a player mentor system.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And part of the training is, you have to come, this is how you have to eat, this is what you have to, this is how you have to train, this is your morning routine, your evening routine, your night routine. But here's some mentorship. So someone's going to sit down with you, half hour a day, just chat to you, talk to you, just give you these skills that are not academic, innit? They're not read this book and learn this. So we're going to give you real life lessons to turn around and say, do you know what I mean? Drama students, whatever way you need to do it to get these people to understand. And what's crazy is like the situation that, as I said, like as Buddy mentioned, Thomas Partey's in and a few other players have been in, is as soon as these allegations come out, everyone distances themselves
Mhm.
and it's now
That one
the
person.
player on their own.
Mm.
And I think that is disrespectful, especially when you got agents taking 15%, 10%,
Yeah.
12%, 20%. But I'm like, yo, so if you're my player and you get accused, when it comes to interviews, I'll be like, yeah, he don't talk. I speak for him.
Yeah, I mean,
Do you know what I mean? That's my, that's as his mentor, as his representative, this is my job. All questions come through me. He just needs to sit there and just sip his water.
But to be fair, we never see them talk though.
No,
So that's a good thing, though.
but
They are-
this is the
they
thing.
are behind the
Because they
ball.
don't talk and because there's no representation,
It looks like
it's
they're
guilty.
There's a lot of speculation.
Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
So
true.
at the end of the day, I'm not even saying they need to come out and say he didn't do it or he did do it. It's as his representative, this is what we're saying. This is our official statement. Do you know what I mean? Any other questions, please wait till after the trial. Thank you for your patience. Good night. God bless.
Final point,
Thank God.
James.
It's similar to what everyone else has said, if I'm being completely honest. But I think the main thing is education. I think you hit the nail on the head there. You have to have the education from the club for players to understand. because you will get trapped. And sometimes it's, as Pogba's found in different circumstances, sometimes it's from your own team.
Your own family.
So education and also wising up yourself. Because at the end of the day, you're your own person. So you got to look after yourself as well.
Sorry, I know it's a final point, Wiley, but these youths are 18 and they're given 40 bag.
I mean, look very
contracts.
quickly. Look at Yamal and the stories of him and all the older women. But that's a whole anyway.
So
that's a whole other thing.
But
That's a whole
I
other
appreciate
thing.
your point, but I'm just saying, remember, you're 18 years old, you're 19 years old. The time around to say, you know, have a little think about how this may look in the. You couldn't give one fly because I got a painting over there that's licking her lips, looking at me. You know what I mean? Poured champagne over her face and said, "Lick me." All of a sudden, I'm not trying to hear nothing else. The testosterone hormones are going nuts. You can't turn around and say to me I should think or know better. Let's be real. Do you know what I mean? Some of the nonsense we were doing when we were 18, 19 years old, or some of you man are still doing. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, I just say they're young people in it.
Yeah.
And I'm saying male and female. So give them a chance. But there is one thing, I don't know which one of you said it. There are people out there that look to extort players. They go to certain bars, clubs, knowing that ballers are going to be there, and we'll find pretty girls or whatever else will say, yeah, go and talk to him. Make sure you get his Instagram. Make sure he gets his number. Blah blah blah. And are kind of, I don't know, coaching, guiding, pimping, or whichever way you want to look at it. So there are a lot of scumbags in the world. We just need to protect these young people.
I'm going to jump into something that's come out today. Ballon d'Or list. Ballon d'Or list came out today. There's no more Messi. There's no more Ronaldo. Very quickly around the room, who would you say from the list of players? And there's a whole list. You got Dembélé, you got Bellingham, you got Salah, you got Kane, you got Dijk, you got Yamal, Vinícius. You even got Verts on there. Who would you say should be taking that trophy for this year?
Depends on what you're judging it on. And
I'm saying Dembélé.
For me.
Dembélé would get it because of the amount of things that well, they won the Champions League, they won the French Cup.
What? No Chelsea played that won the World Cup.
That was a relevant cup. All right.
I'm just asking.
But if you're going to tell me out of that list, who's probably the best player on that list, player for player, pound for pound, as young as he is, it's Yamal.
Has he had the best year?
He's had an amazing year.
Has he had the best year?
Rafinha had a better year than him.
For numbers, but it's statistically, yes, that is what it looks like. But as a player, it's like if without him, do they do as well? If you take Yamal out of their team, do they do as well? If you take Rafinha out of their team, I can say they still do levels. Yamal was the main player.
He was the top goal scorer and top assist.
Still the main player in their team. It was still if you watch the games, and you're a man that watches the games, all right. Yamal is way too important to them. Everything runs through him. And it's like it's the same thing. If we can sit there and say, well, Salah should be up there because Liverpool don't win the league without Salah. No matter what anyone says, Liverpool do not run away with the league without Mo Salah.
His Champions League messed him up.
The Champions League, but it's one game. It was one hectic game. I was there, all right. It was an amazing game. It was probably the best game out of the hardest game that PSG had in the Champions League. All right, and they won it just about. It was the hardest, bro. It was definitely the hardest. I was there. Did you go there? I was there.
I don't mean it was hard.
It was definitely.
I didn't see on the pitch. You get what I'm saying?
I saw everything.
I did not want to the players to come over.
I was trying. No, it was definitely the hardest game, and I look at it itself. So the way that the system works, the Ballon d'Ors and the rest of it, they look at the way who won the Champions League. They don't care about anything else. Did you win the Champions League? Did you win the European Championship? Did you win a World Cup? They look at things like that rather than to say, do you know what? That player is actually the best player in the world right now. All right. And if I said to myself, out of that list, who's the best in the world? I'm gonna give it to Yamal.
Ballon d'Or is not judged on the best.
It's never been like that.
It's not judged.
That's what I'm asking. Sending it back to the question: who's had the best year? Who would you give on the Ballon d'Or criteria?
Dembélé's had the best year. He's had the best year.
Vitinha on there. Yes, for me, it's Vitinha.
Vitinha's on there, but
that's the thing, right? James knows me. I'm an unsung hero guy. For me, he dictates how PSG plays. And you saw how important he was in the final. He not only won the Champions League, the league with them, he also won the Nations League with Portugal, which they weren't ever favoured to win the Nations League this year. So I would say his influence, and if you look at all the games they played, he was the person that dictates the way they play. I would say Vitinha is probably the Ballon d'Or winner for me.
Well, there is a Man United link on there. You got Scott McTominay on there. You've also got
mention it, Wiley. Why do you do that? I wasn't going to mention it, but I'll let you go.
You've also got Harry Kane on there, and Declan Rice is on there. I didn't expect Declan Rice to be
Why
on there.
Rice put his on there? Why is Rice putting on there?
Rice is on there because of the 2 free kicks, bro.
That's
For real.
crazy.
That's the truth, though. The 2 free
That's
kicks, they were
crazy.
worldies, bro.
And one Muller Rice
Yeah,
advert.
but
And
not
you
Ballon
had
d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
That's what they put him on there
When he's
for.
won nothing.
That's what they put him on there for. 100%. It was for the 2 worldies. The 2
I mean,
worldies.
that almost lowers the tone on the list
But it,
for me.
But you see where you was going about the Vidić argument about the caliber of players.
Yeah.
This Ballon d'Or list and the way that the Ballon d'Or lists have been over the last few years, the
credibility.
talent pool it is not there.
Yeah.
It's not there
Yeah.
like it used to be.
Is
in my opinion.
that because
Yeah,
Messi
I'd agree.
and Ronaldo
No.
dominated for so long? Not they dominated.
Man,
It was either one or the other, innit?
granddads,
But
boy.
did you know?
If you think about it, who was that? So apart from Messi and Ronaldo, who would you have said would have been in that argument when they was dominating though?
Lewandowski during COVID. I think for me, that's when I lost love for the Ballon d'Or. You see, when they completely, I would say
It wasn't
shunned,
the
probably
Henri
wrong
one.
word, but they just ignored him.
That's going back.
As I
We're talking
said,
about back, right?
go even further back. Wasn't
But
Henri
even
one.
further back there was a better pool of players in my opinion than there are now.
Yeah,
100%.
I'm not going with that.
You got Ribery, you know.
He
got
that was robbery.
I mean, it's bare robberies. The Ballon d'Or isn't done in a fair way, innit? It's not done in a fair way. But that's why I said to you when you said the list, I said, if I look at the list and who I think is the best player, I can say who I think the best player on that list is. I can tell you who had the best year. Dembele's had the best year.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And that's what we look at.
Rafinha's a close
You know what I mean?
second, though, you know. He's just
Rafinha's
not got-
close,
he's
and
just not got the
Vitinha's
trophies to
close.
really-
And underneath that, you got Salah. So the top 4, that's my top 4 right there. You just said it. Like I wouldn't change any one of those top 4. If they said that they won it, I'm not gonna go robbery.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, I get it. Do you know what I mean? They've all got reasons
I
to win
probably
it.
put Yamal in third before Salah, but you'd say that.
I mean, we don't listen to
We
you.
can put McTominay at number 2, yeah?
It's more item. I like when I see
on the
someone
fair
dribbling,
side.
they've actually got control of the ball. It's not all over the place.
Wow, you're gonna say that about
We're
Mo?
gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're gonna
Bro,
get
let
to
me
that.
kill
We're
him.
gonna get
Just
to
let me
that.
kill him. Now I'm on it.
This is on camera, by the way, so no one sees me on this. You know who to do.
So speaking of fairness, the women's England team and the women's Nigeria team, I'm gonna put it out there because they won we won the
Women's
WAFCON.
WAFCON.
But yes, the WAFCON. But the women's England team won the Euros. Is there an argument for women to be getting more pay than what they're getting now? And I'll put the figures out there. The highest paid woman footballer earns £850,000 a year. The highest
That's a good
paid
salary.
men's footballer earns £173 million
There's a
a
reason for
year.
that.
Yeah.
There's a reason for
Okay,
that.
wait. Before you say something, can I just say these comments are not made from the MT podcast alone. You're not going to continue now. You can continue now.
James, you was about to jump in.
Yeah,
Go
go
on.
on, Jay.
The reason for that is in business, if a female and a male are going for the same job, it's equal.
Okay.
The company earns equal amount of money. Women's football does not earn the same amount of money as men's football. So how could they possibly earn the same? Because they don't bring in as much. So if you're not bringing in as much, you can't ask for what's not there. It's as simple as
I
that.
can work with that.
If it's not there, how can you ask for more? Once their football gets to a certain level where they're earning a huge amount of income, then yeah, ask for more. But until they've reached that level, then they have to keep building. And eventually, hopefully, I've got a daughter who would love to do sports, then the gap will close. But until that happens, it can't be equal.
They're playing catch up, and they're going to be playing catch up for a while. But if you think about the growth has gone
Huge.
so
Brilliant,
quick, quick compared to what women's football was 20 years ago. It's crazy. So as much as there's a huge pay gap, I think they need to start looking at ways to boost the commercialization of women's football, because that's where we complain about how football's turned into a business on the men's side. But that's ultimately where all this money has come from. It's come from sponsorship. It's come from commercials. Come from people going to games, spending money. That's what they need to make it more attractive to young people to go to the women's games, and that's going to start off with ticket prices and marketing for me. So
Tottenham guys got a little bit of sense. Like it. I mean, Liverpool man. You're cool.
I'm gonna link it more into the women's football, because the women's Euros, there was an incident with regards to the racist abuse that one of the players on the England team got.
Mhm.
Now, then the taking of the knee, the team decided they weren't going to do that no more because they were saying this ain't doing nothing. Just really concisely and quickly, what can we do to change racism in football as it is now? Because it's like we keep going on about it's going every season, players can walk off, players can do A, B, and C. What can we do to actually stop that from fans or on the pitch? Because it's endemic, it's everywhere.
So I've got so many solutions, you know that.
Go on,
But they won't employ me.
why not?
Because I just know, next minute you turn up, there's a horse head in your bed. that kind of nonsense. But I'd stop things real quick. As soon as the racism started, all of the team playing, all of the subs and the manager, let's go and all sit down in the center circle. Don't say nothing. Just go sit there in a row, in a circle, face each other. Don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing. Watch how quickly they'll be like, yo guys, get up. I'll just sit there, silent protest. Anytime it got to the point where you've pointed to the officials, they've said, okay, just play on. It carries on to say to them, you know what, done. Let's all go and sit down in the middle of the central circle. You'll see how quickly you start making headlines. You don't need to start doing the whole shouting back at the fans. That looks mad. That's a protest. That's he's just lost his head. He's not a professional. One second. Let's all go and sit down in the center circle. Hold hands. Sit down. Do the peace sign. Just think about it. Just think about it for a second.
You know what that
How
requires?
impactful would that be?
You know that what that requires though.
Go on.
Togetherness.
Yeah,
How much in
the
protest do
same
you ever
thing.
see togetherness?
Right, but they all took the knee.
Not all.
Yeah,
There
but
were some
no.
players that didn't.
No,
Yeah,
most
They took the knee.
at the beginning, there was only a couple that said we're not on it. But
They've got
when
nothing to
you
lose
ask
by
them,
doing that.
but when you ask them why are you not on it, cool. Now the thing is, if we all held hands right now and sat down in the middle, someone watching the podcast is like, "What's going on? This looks nuts."
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What are they doing? You trigger conversation just naturally. Do that on a main stage with TV cameras, 60,000, 50. Well, certain clubs don't get that much. Anyway, do you know what I mean? Certain amount of fans in the stadium. We paid money to watch you all sit there. Eventually, the noise will be heard. But you have to be you have to be able to speak to these people in a language they understand. And unfortunately, that's commercial. Like, let's be real. If you've got
money,
if you've got black men or black women running around, earning for their club or their country, and getting the plaudits when things go great and everyone's celebrating is one thing. But when things are not going great, they're like, oh,
distance.
why are you like that? Let's just leave them alone. Nah, let's all go sit down. And the thing is, do you know how I'd make it even worse? Imagine you lot all sat down and Buddy didn't. I'd say, all right, everyone, let's just point at Buddy. Now, he would have to make a choice. Is he going to stand there or is he going to come and sit down with us? Do you get what I'm saying?
But then obviously that goes on to what Liam was saying with unity. I mean, at the end of the day, if someone's made a decision to not do something, they will have their own reasons why they do and why they don't feel it's right to do so. So, for example, Wilfried Zaha decided that he didn't believe that taking a knee meant anything to anybody. So he said, I'm not taking it anymore. You can't force me to do so. Yeah. I do feel like, obviously, being racist is a decision. Yeah. People say you're born with it. Listen, it's a decision. You decide to say what's coming out your mouth, regardless of what's happening. But in terms of it being policed, if someone is seen to do something that's against the law, I think the sanction that they need to put in place for fans that want to decide to be racist needs to be simple, lifetime ban from any stadium. How they do that, I don't know. Don't care enough to kind of go that far down the line, but I don't want to see you in here ever again or on telly. It's a difficult one because I feel like to stop it in one place, you would need to have some kind of blanket that kind of says this is the threshold everywhere. And just to say to someone that they're not going to be allowed to be racist in this place doesn't mean they're not going to be racist anymore. So maybe you then say to that person, you've got a lifetime ban, but also you've got to attend these workshops, otherwise you're going to jail. I don't know. But these are just ideas I'm throwing out there. You're really not going to get to the bottom of it because the people that are there to make the sanctions like money too much. So they're not really recognizing what the real problem is.
It was Vidić, isn't it, who had the...
Yes.
I can't remember what's it called when they make a. They
The-
hung
The puppet.
Yes,
or-
yeah.
effigy.
Yes,
Is that the word?
Yeah.
Yeah, they hung it from a bridge, innit? His own supporters.
Yeah.
The next game, I'd have been sitting in the centre circle. As soon as kickoff come, you lot pass it around.
Spurs
I'd
done
have
it to
been
Sol
sitting-
Campbell, though, didn't they? More or less the same thing. Didn't they burn it or something like
Yeah,
that?
yeah.
When he started to Arsenal.
What has happened? There was something someone said earlier on. Was basically like, I just want to move it on real quickly as well. I don't know. James might know this one. I don't know the game exactly. I want to say it was Getafe versus Barcelona. Both teams had already. I think Barcelona had already won the league, or was going to win the league, or was in Europe, or whatever it was. They'd done their job, all right. And Getafe needed to not lose to not get relegated. They just both of them just needed a point. So what they did, they just passed the ball. Kept on just passing the ball. They kept it. Just everyone just
It's
kept it.
happened in Austria and Germany
And
as well.
they did it for. I watched the game for some stupid reason, all right. And I sat there for 90 minutes just watching
Working out who's going to score.
It's fascination, though, isn't it? That's
I
why.
think They're really just going to keep up. They just literally just went there. They kept on passing the ball, and it's because someone said it, they've got nothing to. There was nothing to lose, nothing to gain, so they can do that type of thing. So when you're talking about a protest, it's because they had nothing to lose or nothing to gain. If I'm in a match now, final game of the season, we can win the league, we can't win the league, and you're going to tell me that my team's going to sit there because of some dickhead turning shouted something racist, and now they're going to sit there and do nothing. The uproar, like, what are you doing?
So
they wouldn't do it.
You
the money
you would
wouldn't-
prioritize
I'm not saying
winning the
me.
league over the
I'm not saying
defense
me.
of someone
It-
being.
the
being-
club
being
itself, the club
abused.
itself wouldn't do it because the money or around
So what
it,
you're telling
it
me
wouldn't be, it
is the
wouldn't
club is
do it.
racist. Like the thing is, no. If you break it all down, take everything else out of it, you're saying we could win the league or we can protest against racism. Let's just win the league and then we'll donate to the
And then we'll deal with it
to the
afterwards.
racist charity.
Every
Nonsense.
club's doing that.
So that
every
and that's
club's doing
why
that.
nothing changes.
Every-
That's why
Yeah.
Zaha
Yeah,
saying
but-
the need
I'm
doesn't
not
work.
taking the
He
knee.
said at the beginning, there's no unity.
No, but the point I'm saying is like the point you literally just made is if we're gonna win the league today or conquer racism, and you're like, let's win the league first and then talk about racism.
Business, bro.
All that
brother, it sounds like that wouldn't happen.
You know what? Do you know what? It's like I'm talking to my foot. What I'm saying is, if you are serious about really making a stance,
Sacrifice,
you have to do something outside of the norm. And if it's bigger than let's win the league or let's do this, let's do that, then you make that choice. So the knee,
It's
Colin
choice.
Kaepernick, he turned around and said, "I'm going to do it." They said, "If you do it again,"
him.
they said, "If you do it again, you're not allowed to. We're going to blackball you from football." He kept doing it. All of a sudden, he got blackballed for 2 seasons, I think.
Yeah, it was 2.
So, and then after that, 1 second, it was like, well,
Couldn't
not,
get back in.
not just him doing it, everyone's now doing it. Now it got seen as it's a movement. Now, don't get wrong, I don't know, and I can't say for sure exactly how much momentum was shifted in the US, but it made its way over to the Prem, it made its way over to the UK. Do you know what I mean? I'm seeing players do it, and players who may or may not even agree, they were like, you know, our team's doing it, we're going to do it. So I'm saying until you look at things as an entirety, you can't say we can be racist as long as we're winning. I mean, we can defeat racism as long as we're winning, but if we're losing against a team, let's deal with racism after. This is where the problems come in.
Final
And-
point, buddy.
And I don't know how to fix it.
Buddy.
No. Same thing. I don't have the solution.
Oh,
That's what I'm saying. I don't know.
yeah,
How
But
to fix it.
the point was what I was trying to say to you, and you said it. You're talking about a person. If one person's going to, Colin Kaepernick affected himself.
Yeah.
All right, it could have destroyed his career. Now, if the racism was done against me, all right, and now the football club, we're about to win the league, the football club's not going to say, well, we're going to lose it for the chairman, the manager, the support staff, the kitchen staff, the fans, the this, the that. They're not going to do it because it affects so many people. They will turn and say, we will deal with this afterwards, because you doing that, and all you've done is you've affected us and said, oh, we didn't win the league because Lee was racially abused and we took a stance. Okay, great. And it's a massive statement, brilliant statement. But how they're going to remember Arsenal won the league though? That's what's going to go down. Arsenal won the league though. You know what I mean? What else? It's a
I
massive
don't know.
statement.
If it's anything, sorry, I know you said last
Yeah,
point.
go.
My bad.
No,
Yeah.
you can't.
No,
Go on.
no,
He next you up,
no,
innit?
no,
I got one.
Last one.
You know this sign. You know this sign. You
Yeah.
think to yourself, well, why did he do it? Why did he do it? Who did it?
Owens,
Who else?
Yep.
Who was next to him?
The guy that gave
The other guy, innit?
got
The other guy.
What's his name?
Who was next to him?
Yeah.
The other runner. What race was it? What year was it? Or what does it mean?
Mhm.
Do you understand? So I'm saying the impact of the
Understand it,
movement.
yeah.
This is the difference.
Final point.
I'm done.
Yeah, and I was just going to touch on something we spoke about earlier on. Yeah.
Go on.
obviously Colin decided to do it, and it only kind of affected him, but it made its way over to the UK, yeah. And obviously, other people in the US decided to take it up as well. But you could almost argue that it almost became a pandemic to some degree, yeah, because it started to spread. Now, if you have unity, it will become a pandemic. Let's be honest. So people won't be able to stop it spreading because everyone will support it. But the first thing is first. There needs to be an understanding, because everybody that had, and I'm sorry if anybody lost anybody in COVID, but everyone that had lost someone, or they understood how COVID was transmitted. They understood everything about it, so they knew how to avoid it. So knowledge is power, and I hear you man talk about that on the podcast regular. Like that is the key thing here. Like I said earlier on, you put someone on a lifetime ban, but they also have to do a workshop, and they face jail, and there's loads of repercussions on the back of you not doing that one thing correctly. Yeah. You want to go out and have a house party in the back while everyone's
COVID
isolated,
and you're not wearing a mask, and
there's a drone flying over your yard. Good luck. Yeah, you should catch a big slap. But that's what it is.
I'm not even gonna make another comment. I'd have just said that I've done the protest differently after I won the trophy.
Because you know what?
Yeah, the very final thing I wanted, and it's just a quick thing because I think it was a really big thing for football in general. Jota's death, has there been anything like it that you can remember on that sort of a nature around football?
Can you elaborate?
In terms of a reaction to anything, like maybe a footballer passing away, or a hero, or a legend.
The nearest thing to that was the nearest thing that I remember, yeah, and there might be another one if you give me a minute, but it's that guy that got bought for Leicester City and he just went missing on a helicopter.
Yes.
We don't,
right.
So we don't know enough about him to have the same feeling. But if he was in the Premier League for 2 or 3 years, maybe we would. Yeah. For example, if Partey went missing on a helicopter to Villarreal, some people might miss him. The people that press charges probably wouldn't. But
I like that.
Sorry, Wiley, can you just say the question again?
Yeah. So has there been any sort of a major impact on news in football, like Diogo Jota's death? I'll tell you how bad it was. When I was reading through, I was actually on a conversation with us lot in the group. And then I went into another group and I just saw, Jota's dead, Jota's dead. My whole body went cold. And it wasn't just because he played for Liverpool, it's because it was a footballer that I resonated with who's current. And I don't think I've ever experienced something in any sport, or in probably maybe Michael Jackson passing, maybe when Princess Diana died. I can't think of anything as seismic as that on that scale that affected me in that way. Which
this one didn't affect me in that way, but the impact that I can remember was the Cantona kick.
Yes.
So if you think the Cantona kick, that stopped everything. You get what I mean?
Yeah, that was everywhere.
That just stopped. I can't think of
Man United, no behaviour, innit?
I don't know.
I agree. I mean, not for me, but like,
I can understand the news gravity. It's not the same type of news, but I can understand the news gravity of it. Because it was on the news, 10 o'clock news. What's going on? We've never seen nothing like it.
I mean,
mad.
not for me.
I mean, this is a different kind of event, but Mark Vivian Floyd dying on the
Yeah,
pitch.
that
That was
bigger.
the first time
Yes.
live on TV, prime time, Confederations Cup. It was a semi-final. Him dying on the pitch. That opened up a change in how they check for heart conditions in football and in sport, because it's not only football that is happening, it's happening in other sports as well.
You see how something drastic had to make a change on it.
Yeah.
But what's crazy, at that same period, don't you remember there were just loads of young people just collapsing in the
All of a
pitch?
sudden.
Yeah.
And it was like, what's happening? Do you know what I mean? What's going on that this is happening? Fit athletes, across all sports.
Yeah, absolutely. But on a lighter note, we're going to take it back onto a much lighter note now. We're coming up to the new season.
Really?
Yeah, we're coming up to the new season.
Have you got a new kit? That looks like a new kit.
This one. I mean,
Oh yeah, I got a new kit. I didn't realize. So just now. But guys,
So the point being, we're coming up to a new season. Where do you see your respective clubs in the new season? And it's not just a case of, we're going to be champions. We're going to do what is your ambition and expectation for the new season?
are we starting from the top or the bottom?
We can start with whoever wants to go first. So we'll start at the bottom.
No, that's Leon, isn't it?
What, 15th on a no trophy or 17th on a trophy?
We're doing that.
What are we doing,
We
bro?
do podcast together every week. You know?
Yeah, this is why I'm asking the question. Asking me right now, innit? I don't know. Because you lot was in the doldrums.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll be fair. I'll go
Wiley,
with the Premier
I think
League
your
table.
question is very, very loaded. So I think
Thank you. That's the whole point.
I think you need to redirect the question.
What do you expect from your team? Are you expecting them to challenge for the title? Or expecting them to be fighting relegation? Is it to now win a trophy? I'll be fair and go from the bottom of the Premier League table upwards. Only in that fairness. I won't talk about teams that won a trophy last season because then that's another conversation. But in the fairness of the table, I'll start with Lyon and Tottenham.
All right. Obviously got a new manager in after the dismal league position that we found ourselves in last season. I think Thomas Frank, his remit is going to be finishing in the top 6 because I think top 4 is a step too far. We haven't spent money to compete at that level, and for it to be his first foray into the Champions League, it's going to be a steep learning curve for him. Managing the squad, managing a new bunch of players. I think the best we can really hope for is top 6 and competing respectively in I would say the FA Cup, the Champions League, and the League. We have to qualify for at least the next stage of the Champions League.
I don't think you'll finish higher than West Ham.
What, in the league?
No, I mean we're
West
all in the
Ham.
same. I just feel to myself that you lot are going to struggle with the fact you've got Europe, you've got a new manager. Maddison just done his ACL. You haven't done that many signings to me to tell and say, oh, you know what, you've changed enough. All right, he's got to come up. He's got to work out how to play in Europe. Work out how to deal with expectation. Because the moment you lose the Arsenal versus Tottenham game, it's going to be all of a sudden like, oh, you're the worst manager in the world. You lost by 4. I'm not saying you're not going to win by 4, but do you know what I mean? It's one of those ones where it's like the media pressure was going to get to him. Now, I'm not saying this is 100% because I think he's a good manager, but I also do believe to myself that the expectations so you can get to the top 6. Like, do you know where you finished 17th?
Yeah, we finished 17th because of the manager we had previously had abandoned the Premier League in order to go and win that trophy.
Do you think he was harshly treated in terms of being sacked, even though he delivered a trophy?
No.
Wow.
For me, I agree with his stance in prioritizing the Europa League, but not giving up on the way that he managed the team in the Premier League was awful. You could see in certain games that we didn't have any plan to go and win the game. I don't believe, and I hear the point you're making, but West Ham is to me, they're going to struggle. I don't see us finishing that low. I think that with Thomas Frank, we have a big enough squad to deal with it. We had to deal with Europe last season, and we actually had a good run in the cup as well. We had a good run in the FA Cup, in the League Cup, sorry.
Yeah, League Cup.
And we lost to you guys. Yeah. But to me, 17th is the issue.
No disrespect. You said we had a good run in Europe. You know, like you've got countries like Latvia, that's in Europe, but it's not Spain in it.
We didn't play anyone in Latvia.
No.
If someone said
Citrus, let me speak. Name the 5 teams that you played. The last 5 teams.
One was called the Lost Boys.
Brother, just let me name them. Let me name them, and let's see how many people know them. Go on.
Frankfurt.
Okay, 1.
Man United.
Yep, that's finals. Go on. Well done.
Yeah.
Okay.
You asked me to name them.
We got 3 more. You shouldn't be doing that. That's my point. You're in the UEFA Cup. You shouldn't be sitting there going, Frankfurt, Man United. I got the others. Lost Boys. I mean, because he said it. But Victor,
Lost Boys?
Young Boys. Wasn't Young Boys.
No. But is it right to, because if Man United had won it, we'd have been saying only one. It's Man United.
No, I would say the same thing.
But is it right to be demeaning Spurs winning that trophy because they won a trophy?
No. It's normal. But this is normal for teams to demean teams that have won a trophy. People will go, "Oh, Liverpool won the title and it was easy because no one challenged you." Is that your fault?
Because we was too good.
No, that's what
people say.
But I'm not demeaning the fact you don't won a trophy. I'm happy that Tottenham won a trophy. But I'm sitting there also saying to myself like the route that Sitch was just about to mention was the fact that you didn't play anyone. So who did you compete with to win the trophy? The two teams you just mentioned was Frankfurt and Man United. That was it. That's who you competed with to win the trophy.
Yeah,
Doesn't
but
matter. The other teams took it out. They took each other out.
Tottenham had specific targets. They achieved one of the targets. Doesn't matter who they beat on the way. Because if they didn't beat those teams, you'd be like, well, how
did you not beat them?
Exactly.
So
So at the end of the day, they achieved their target.
I think if Tamworth are in the FA Cup final and Liverpool beat them 7-0, people are gonna be like, oh, that was an easy final.
Yeah,
you won a trophy. Like, let's
People will
call it
always
for what
find
it
a
is.
stick to throw at you.
Right.
I'll give it an example. Man City done an FA Cup run. For the last few FA Cup runs when they was winning it, all right, they only had to probably play a game in the final. They played pure of the Division 1s, Division 2s. I was like, how are you not getting this
underperforming teams in the
lucky?
Premier
But
League.
no one cares.
Run.
The trophy is still in their
Yeah.
cabinet.
It's a
That's
trophy
it.
business.
I
At the end of the
hear
day,
Trophy in the
it's a
cabinet.
trophy
Bro.
business.
They beat,
So-
I think they beat Watford like 8-0 or something stupid like that in
Yeah,
the final.
I
It's
mean,
dumb.
it's-
But like, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, they've won.
But for me to even be able to remember that, to say to you, I can remember their cup runs weren't great. They never had to go say, oh, they played Tottenham, Man U, Liverpool, Chelsea, and then they won the league. They never did that. They had to play all these Division 1 clubs, and then they won the FA Cup. And I'm like, okay, I mean, you was always going to make the luck of the draw. It is what it is.
See, for me, people ask this all the time. To get to a final, I don't care. Give me the hardest route, give me the easiest route. I'm taking the easiest route every single time. So if I have to play these Mickey Mouse teams to get to a final and win it, I've won it. And people can say, oh, but you didn't play anyone. That's not my business.
But Jay, I
I
would
was
say
mad because as I said, my target was to win it.
Win a trophy.
If other teams have beaten other teams on the way there, that's their business.
No. But see, this is the difference, and this is the problem why Citrus brought it up, although he's not said it. All right, the competition itself didn't have competition to begin with. So if you're going to sit there and put Liverpool in the Championship Cup, then I expect them to win it. Do you know what I mean? Don't go and put them in the champion. When Chelsea just won the UEFA Conference League, if they didn't win that, then I don't think you should be a club. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, like, it's ridiculous. You're playing teams that I've never ever heard of. They only played Real Betis in the freaking final, and Real Betis is nowhere near the levels
But
of
is that their
Chelsea.
standard though?
No, nowhere near their standard.
No, as in how Tottenham were, would you be surprised if they won the Champions League? Everyone would be. So their level is that level.
No, I wouldn't give them
At
that.
the moment, it is though.
They made
At the
a
moment-
Champions League final.
I don't
agree with that.
How long ago though?
Tottenham are not. I mean, as an Arsenal fan as well, Tottenham are not at that Europa League level.
But how many
Like,
teams?
if you think, and the reason why I say that, if you think of I want to say 12. How many teams got knocked out of the Champions League at the league stage? Was it 16?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, but they
Something
stopped that though, innit?
No, it's like
They don't drop them
18.
down.
No,
Yeah.
of the
No,
last, of
no,
the,
this
it was
season.
eight.
the one just gone.
It was 8
was the eight
teams.
that knocked out.
Yeah.
8 teams.
Yeah.
Now, Tottenham were better than all those 8
8
teams.
teams, yeah.
100%.
So the point I'm trying to make is I'm glad that they've won a trophy because it puts pressure on my team. Do you know what I mean? We can't make noise with them because they've got a trophy we ain't got.
Journeyman.
However, the other side of the coin is as like the previous system where those 8 teams that dropped out of the Champions League
Mm.
are now competition for the Europa League. But it's that this is one competition, this is another competition. The irony is, if you then say we're champions of Europe, and then you think to yourself, rah, but you lost to the Reggae Boys or the Young Boys or whatever the
They wouldn't have been
team.
those 8 teams though.
Was that?
They wouldn't have been those 8 teams though. Those
They wouldn't have
8
been the 8 teams.
No, those 8 teams have always been knocked out, regardless of the Champions League format. They would have
would've
been the
finished
bottom
bottom.
teams.
They would've
of
finished
those
bottom.
groups.
Oh yeah, that's
It wouldn't have been
yeah,
those
it's the
teams.
next set
It
of
would have
teams.
been the second, the third, and the fourth.
Yeah, so
Yes.
when like teams like Man City,
Yeah.
who got beaten in that round because they played Real Madrid and they got beaten, would have then gone into Europa
Man
Cup.
United,
And-
Porto.
okay, yeah.
But you lot are still
Betis.
missing.
They
you're
would have
missing-
beaten.
You're missing my
No, but
point.
Betis is one of the teams that
You're missing my point. Those bottom 8 teams, right? I don't know who they are. Tottenham are better
Yeah,
than
that's true.
those teams. Do you get what I mean? So we cannot say Tottenham are a Europa team. You get what I mean? Because
Oh, because you're saying if they'd have fallen down into it, they'd have been above.
If you were to rank them,
I don't
Tottenham would
You know
be
what's going
higher
to
than them.
happen? You're going to find out. You're going to find out.
This season.
Because they're in the Champions League now.
November.
Yeah,
You're going
they're
to
in the
find
Champions
out.
League now.
We're going to know whether we are capable of competing at that level or whether we are.
We already know you're not. Let's be real.
Well,
But-
that's-
so that's right. Back to
We'll
conversation.
see.
That's
We'll see. We'll see.
Okay.
So on to the next team in the table,
You know what? Let's go.
Man United.
We said
What is your
Win the league.
your
Do you know what?
No. Because
So-
it's an argument that can be made. What is your target? What do you think realistically, and what do you think will be done?
Do not underestimate Man United. All right. A wise man told me that in the last 24 hours or last week. And this is why I say this. The movements we've been making in this window, very simple. We need to have Europe this season. And if we don't have Europe this season, we are going to be in a very big situation coming the beginning of next season.
So,
I want Europe.
so
I want Europe.
Just to be clear,
Yeah.
Europe as in any
Top-
Europe?
No, top
or-
four. Top
top
four.
four,
Top four. I mean, would I go as far as to say I put a bet on Man United to win the league when Sesko was here we go? I wouldn't say that on live, but maybe I have.
You are real.
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I know, it was just, no,
Good timing.
it was just a statement I made, not necessarily that I've done it. But people that know me knows whether I've done it or not.
Wow.
But truth be told, I feel like we will definitely be challenging way more than we were last season.
Because
And I think that's what it's because we hit rock bottom. I get it. But I'm saying
I wasn't even going to say
go
that.
on.
So my argument, all right, and kudos to you lot doing something in the champions in the transfer
window,
market, right?
yeah.
However, you sitting there saying to me, Cunha, Mbeumo, and Sesko are better than your Rashfords, your Garnachos, your Sanchos,
Anthony.
your Anthony, all those players that I've just mentioned, because especially when they was all in their prime or doing okay at the time, are they now better players than all of those players that I've just mentioned?
Anthony wasn't in his prime. I don't know when you saw him in his prime. Maybe he was in his prime at Betis. He wasn't in his prime when he was under United wing, firstly. Secondly, Sancho, I'm waiting to see him be in his prime in red. He can be in his prime in yellow, but not. He's never been in his prime in red, in my opinion. Rashford,
Mismanaged.
I can't talk on him because it's just like, is enigma the right word? It's like it's a freak of how can a guy that has so much ability not perform for a club that he loves. Who was the other two? That you mentioned?
Allegedly.
Sorry.
You have to use the word allegedly.
Allegedly.
Garnacho.
Garnacho.
We can go
Again,
through them.
Yeah. All right. So, and Garnacho, I'll probably finish off with Garnacho. And Garnacho, again, he was and is emerging. He's not. You've not seen the best of the guy, and I'm just talking from a footballing perspective. Yeah, I do feel like he's got a lot more to give, but maybe he doesn't like the constraints that Amorim has come in and kind of put in place around the squad. So I do believe that, yes, to answer your question, the players that we've got in,
Those three.
yes, those players that we've got in. I'm not going to talk too much on Sesko, but I'm going to talk more so on Cunha and Mbeumo. In their prime, on their curve, however you want to kind of put it, I believe they do make us a better team. Like way better. Like just Cunha and Mbeumo, that's 30 goals. That's like
Way better.
I mean, way better than where we were last year, 100%.
When have Man United not had superstars and still done crap?
All right, but we still don't technically have superstars now. Realistically, no, real superstars. Like you're gonna go into, other than if Mbeumo or Cunha don't get bought by United, you can speak to some fans and they wouldn't even know who they are. They're in a red shirt now, so people will know who they are. Bruno, Casemiro. These guys are arguably the superstars of the squad, yeah? As in, you can go anywhere and call their names out, and people are like, yeah, I know him. He plays for. And he used to play for. Like, half the people wouldn't even know who Cunha played for before now.
But so you're saying these two players are bringing you so much goals because they did that at Wolves and another one did it at Brentford. And they're going to now turn you lot into champions.
No,
That was your words.
No, I'm saying that these guys are coming in to the fold and they're going to make us a better team. I'm saying they will be...
Where? That's what his question was.
Like I said to you before, Europe, for sure.
He said top four.
Which
Which
I'm
that was
saying
his
top four.
choice.
Now,
So
my,
you're
my
saying
thing,
top four.
I'm saying top four. Like, I'm looking at it from a fan perspective and also what I believe that we were missing last season. I do still feel we got some more shopping to do in the window, so I don't know if that was going to be...
No. I was going to say, when you're saying top four, being that top five, now qualify for
Oh, top
Champions
five,
League, so it's effectively
Champions
you're saying
League. I mean
Champions League places, yeah?
I mean Champions League. We need Europe, so whatever moves we're making now is for that purpose. Yeah.
So you're good enough to kick out a Chelsea, a Newcastle, a Villa.
Yeah. Who's Newcastle?
Who's Newcastle?
Yeah, what did they do in the window that we couldn't do?
The window.
We're
You're
gonna
talking
get to
about
that.
the window.
We're gonna get
No,
we're
but
gonna-
I'm saying
no,
in
we're
general,
gonna
I'm
we're gonna
saying-
get to the
I'm
window.
just-
We're gonna get to the
like, who
window.
are they? Like, all right, cool. You've had a good season. Well done, you. But just leave me, please.
When was the last time you finished on top of Newcastle?
I'm not so much a stats man in that respect, so I'd have to go back and look at the books. But I'm just saying to you, as in pound for pound, I don't feel like they can really chat to us. And especially now, they've tried to grab a couple of the players that we've tried to grab, and we've just come in and just given them a little slap on the back of their neck and just said, "Yo, listen,
Man United
ease
are a
off,
bigger
ease
club.
off this. We'll take it from here."
We're not doing that because they're a bigger club.
Yeah, I'm glad you can say that on
Liverpool-
live. We've got it
no,
on
but
camera
it's
because
true,
a lot
no,
of
it's
people would
fine.
say that we weren't a
It's-
big club and all that.
No,
You know,
but
a
no
man
one's
to my
going to say
right
that. No
lost two, but-
one in their right mind would turn and say that Man United aren't a big club. They're a massive club. Liverpool
Some might.
are a massive club. Arsenal are a massive club. No one's stupid enough to say you're not a big club. You're a big club. You're in the
Tottenham now.
Huh?
Carry on.
But you're a big club in it, all right? So you're going to have pulling power. You will have certain pulling power over certain other teams, all right? Not necessarily Liverpool or Arsenal or anything like that, but
I mean, definitely Arsenal.
I'm glad you didn't say the
No,
L
no,
bomb.
no, I'm saying definitely, no, I'm saying definitely Arsenal because obviously we know that they're an
Definitely
element, innit? Like you lot are an element. You lot like to think that you're going to get a trophy,
Definitely
but
what? So let's put it like this.
no, we're a bigger club than you.
So
That's
there's
what
a
I'm
player. No, so there's a player
That's
available.
you was making a comment, a statement, and
So
I'm
there's
just
a
saying,
player available,
mention Arsenal.
and you're going to turn around and say that player's going to look at Man United and look at Arsenal and say, "Yo, 17th is my spot."
I mean, that's
Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just saying right now. There's a guy in Portugal tearing it up.
Who?
Anyone.
Any random player. Any random player.
His name's anyone,
Okay,
right? And
yeah,
he's
yeah.
in Portugal tearing it up.
Yeah.
His agent says, "Come over to the UK."
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Like, what team can I play?
Yeah.
That's how he speaks. This is what he just says. And he was like, Man United, oh yes, Cantona is very good.
Yeah.
Then he goes, where they finish in the league? And he's like,
Yeah. But they're probably not going to do
get
that.
to the bottom, like somewhere around there. Somewhere around there.
Biggs, I'm not going to lie.
Somewhere around
They're
there.
not
Somewhere around
going
there.
to do
And
that.
then they're gonna be like, so where did this team finish? Oh, they were second. They could have won.
Listen,
But with you
some
on them, they
people
might
are
win.
Some
And then
people
they're
are
going
in
to
the
turn around
game
and say,
to win.
we got Konya and Mbeumo. He said his name wrong 3 times.
Yeah.
Konya and Mbeumo and potentially now Sheshko. And with that, we're going to be challenging.
It's not impossible.
Pipe dreams, right?
Like, no, it's not a pipe dream.
Pipe
at all.
dreams, pipe
Like, at the
dreams.
end of the day,
Play
no,
lottery.
at the end of the
Same
day,
odds.
yeah, sometimes there
Same odds.
are 1 or 2 players that you bring in that do make a change. I'm not saying that those 2.
And that's Mbeumo and
no,
Konya.
hear what I'm saying to you though. I'm not saying just those 2. Yeah, I'm saying they make us a better team. Yeah, but I'm not saying just those 2. I do believe we still need to do some more work in the business. In the window. I believe we need at least a goalkeeper and another midfielder. Yeah, in my opinion. However,
And your
do
defense
these
is
two- do
your
these
defense is blessed.
Yeah.
Listen, I wouldn't say that if we didn't do no shopping
You
in the
need
window
4
for
more
a defender.
windows just to be blessed.
Listen, you guys need a lot more than that just to win a trophy at the minute.
We're gonna get to Arsenal. We're gonna get to Arsenal.
When we're talking about scope and who's got more than who, like we are the big boys at the table.
No,
You guys
no,
are just are coming in with a blanket over your arm saying,
When
"Do
you
you
gonna
want
be-
some more wine, sir?" Like,
When we ask the question, where are you going to finish?
yeah,
You said
I'm saying Champions League, basically top
But
5.
he's answering the question and he's giving his answer.
But first game of the
and
season, you got them, you know.
That's fine. That's fine. It's only 1 out of 38. That's the answer he's given. That
who's
is
winning?
the answer. That is the answer. That is the answer he is giving. So I'm going to move very swiftly onto Arsenal. What are your plans and where do you see yourself? Are you going to get over that hump and actually get into the number 1 position this season?
I'll be very honest, and this is trying to speak impartially. I think the business Arsenal's done in the window. Sorry, just to add a spot in, which I said to Buddy just now, is I would have preferred to lead with the transfers before.
Go on.
Do you get what I mean?
Where
Okay.
Go on.
So with the business that's been done, where Arsenal fell short at one aspect was we had no second line of defense. So last season, our first line of defense, when that got taken out, there was no competition. Like, you know what I mean? Liverpool were saying, well, you know what I mean? Even if our players, like, even if you took out not the best 4, but the 4 main players, there are another 4 that can come and step in and keep the momentum there or thereabouts. With Arsenal, 3-4 players come out. You're now looking at youth team players coming to start and play and blooding themselves in the Prem. So as much as, oh, you finished second, I don't even agree or believe in any of that because the team, the club, didn't do enough in the previous windows to ensure that your first line and second line is covered. Now, this season with, I believe, the introduction of Andrea Berta, he's looked at the team and said, well, do you know what? We want 2 players in every position. And now, like as of today, he has now 2 players in every position. Or Arteta has 2 players in every position. So, in theory, if you continue as you started last season, and if any of your main players get injured and you bring in your backup, the standard or quality shouldn't drop as much. It will drop some, but just not necessarily as much. So therefore, with that in mind, I should see no reason why we can't be challenging or bettering Liverpool and Man City.
Do you think you're better than you was last season?
Yes.
Based on what?
Why?
I think we are better than we are last season based on three factors. Number one, they've addressed the second line, as I've mentioned. Number two, I think the club as a whole just needed uplifting. So even if Gyökeres doesn't do the striker, doesn't do what everyone's expecting him to do, I think the feeling of all of the players, the club, the fan base has been lifted. So just therefore, you kind of feel like, let's call it the Leicester factor. Do you get what I mean? You feel better, like, yeah, we're okay now. We've got Buddy in the team. So if Buddy scores like what is it in Space Jam, let's drink this magic potion. It doesn't matter if Buddy does good or not. We all feel like we're a better team. So I think it's that sort of factor of that. And the third thing, and the thing that I'm most excited about, is Liverpool strengthened, City is strengthened, Chelsea's looking good. I can't really talk to the other teams. I don't know what they've done. And there's no one here to help me out. But so with that, I think you'll get a healthy competition. So where, for example, if we look at Liverpool, they've done some great business. You're not going to talk about it soon. That's great. However, because many other teams have done great, where Liverpool won, and sorry lads, I don't know exactly. I think it was 3 games
last season.
Yeah,
Four.
just 43 games. 43 games.
It was 4 games.
Okay, so let's say you've lost 3 or 4 games and drew a few, but won all of the rest. Now there'll be more opportunities for other teams who have improved to now start nicking points off you. And if they nick points off you, I'm not saying we're definitely going to get those same points, but it might rebalance the table. However, what I do believe, and the reason why I never said definitely first place, is because you put that factor in place. If you do not cover all of your bases, you leave yourself exposed. And I still feel Arsenal have a couple bases that still need to be covered.
So do you feel, sorry,
Go
I'm
on.
going to ask you a question here, 2 questions. So the first thing is, you said obviously the euphoria of someone coming in new, that's coming with, the eyesight of a proper striker, etc., lifts the squad. Don't you feel like that was the same feeling when you bought Rice? Like, don't you feel like everyone thought like he was going to be like, he was the guy to fix everything?
We need a central midfielder.
Yeah,
We got Declan Rice, the best
we're
midfielder.
gonna win the league.
We're going to win the league.
Before Declan Rice,
Jesus.
it was
Jesus.
Gabriel.
Yeah.
Like, he's the number 9 we've been looking for, blah, 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 blah.
We're going to win the league.
So, like, obviously, after that, because I've got another question, if you can. Like,
So you're saying,
what's the difference between those two and I'm going to win the league as an Arsenal fan and
Norgard and Gyökeres and Supermendi.
So to answer the question, and I can say this now,
go on.
that if we've come second, and this last season weren't close, but the 2 previous seasons we were challenging, and there was just something missing.
You bottled it at Christmas.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but there was something missing. Let's just be honest. And there's something missing. It's like, right, what was that something? We all knew, right, your striker's not striking. He's not doing these numbers. If we had a striker banging in just the average amount of goals, loads of them draws would have been wins. And that could have been the difference. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you remember that Newcastle game.
Yep.
Killed Arsenal.
Small
Do you know
margins,
what I mean? So it's things like, wow, if you turn them draws into wins, or do you know what I mean? Them close draws into a loss, just keep it where it was, then things change. And I think as a team, getting to second with what Arsenal had last season was a disrespect to the rest of the league. It just shows how poor the rest of the league were, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I felt too many Arsenal's main players weren't available, and we still got to second. Whereas if all of those players are okay for this season, and there's enough rotation and blah, 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 and whatever else, and you perform the same way, and then you add an X factor, then you're good. I still think there's weaknesses in the team which can and will be exploited unless you fix that. And that could be via the management or via the purchases.
So, all right, you've touched on the second question there, just as you was tailing off. So you said as the management. Now, I know that you've recently acquired an assistant manager in Gabriel Heinze, yeah?
Mhm.
Seasoned professional. He's got medals that he comes with, so he can show you, man, while going inside.
Oh, what, the former Man
Wow.
United defender?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
That's
huh?
why
I
I'm
didn't know
picking
that.
him up. You didn't
Yeah.
realize.
Okay.
So, if he lied. Anyway. So, do you feel like he has any influence in how you guys are going to go into next season? Because obviously you're saying management as well. Well, he's new to the fold, so he has to be part of the plan.
Of course. And one thing which I thought was brilliant, I don't know if it was done on purpose or not, but they showed, I don't know if it was first training session or, but definitely within the first week, they showed him talking to Saka, Odegaard,
1-to-1. Yeah.
1-to-1. And the guys he was talking to didn't look happy. Do you know what I mean? Because he's not necessarily saying, okay, cuddles, hugs, and
Yeah.
cauliflower. Do you know what I mean? Fairy dust. He was like, no, do this, do that, do that. And you can see him talking. He's got venom in his eyes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's being direct in what he's saying, even in some of the, and it's just friendlies or whatever, but just seeing him on the pitch, having these conversations, I'm looking at him like, he's not going to sit there next to Arteta and just be like, okay, boss, okay, boss, okay. But he's like, no,
No,
do this, do
not
that.
gonna happen.
You come here, run, blah, blah, blah. And when you've got, like, if Arteta's being the cuddly, I suppose, I can't say cuddly.
I think the assistant manager
flowery.
was accused of being more of a cuddly guy.
Yeah,
I
but
don't want
now
more cuddly.
you've
That's
got
what I was-
a friend,
that's what
but
I'm told.
now you've got someone who's no
Yeah.
nonsense. Who's
Yeah.
going,
Good cop,
listen,
bad cop.
I'm here. I'm
Yeah.
here to make sure you win,
Yeah.
and I can see where you're going wrong. This is what you need to do. Then no one's comfortable. And then when you go back to, as I said, the same purchases, if you've got a strong front line, the first team, and then your second team is equally as strong, if you're not doing what I'm saying, yo, buddy, Wiley, warm up, can take off, buddy.
Yeah.
And then buddy's like, rah, well, you know what I mean? I'm the guy. Well, you was the guy, but we now got Wiley in. So we're going to swap almost like for like. Wiley, you're going to do what I said though, right? Yeah, I'm definitely going to run down the wing, you know what I mean? Beat the defender,
Yeah.
cross it in.
You
So-
say that.
You're welcome.
So-
You're welcome.
so-
I'll just say you're welcome from now then.
From now.
Yeah, just because he's obviously putting a resilience in there that comes from the United
From-
background. But
Right,
Resilient.
I mean,
So
this,
Man
this,
United
how
hope you
is-
win.
How resilient are you when
Oh,
you're at the bottom?
Gosh.
but I mean, for
Anyway.
me, I'm sorry, Citrus, but I'm
Go on.
actually going to call bullshit on the whole team. All right, I am. I'm sorry. Like, do you know why? Because I look at it and I think to myself, and you're going to disagree with this, but just off the bat, right now, is Jesus is a Gokeres any better than Jesus? Off the boat right now, what you know
Yeah.
of in the Premier League,
Yes.
you're going to sit there and say in the Premier
100%,
League.
yes.
All right, so anyone else around the room, are you saying Gokeres as well is better than Jesus right now?
I
'Cause we
haven't
don't
seen- I
know
haven't-
what
I
As a
haven't
Gokeres
goal
seen
is
him
scorer,
doing
yet.
if I had a choice between the two, I'll take Gokeres
over
Yeah, as a
Jesus.
goal
Prime
scorer.
Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about finished knees broken.
But, yeah,
Jesus.
but they don't have Prime Jesus though.
But the Jesus that they got, that's the Jesus that when they bought him, the one that they got, the one before the ruck up knees.
Yeah.
Which one are you taking?
As a goal scorer, probably Gokeres. Jesus wasn't really a
In
goal
the Prem.
scorer like that.
It was
Listen,
never a goal
listen,
scorer.
listen,
Even
listen,
No, the problem
the
is,
City was
As a
scorer
player,
like that.
yes,
he was.
As a player,
His
as
first
a
two
player, yeah.
seasons
Yeah.
at City,
Yes,
he
he was.
Right.
But after
Then-
that,
tailed off.
then he went to
Yeah.
the wing and he never regained the
yeah.
confidence to play as a number 9 again.
Arsenal never had
My point is, so you're gonna say Gokeres over Jesus, right? So then we go back into the midfield. Partey or Norgard?
Partey,
But Jorginho or Zubimendi?
Zubimendi.
You're gonna Zubimendi over Jorginho, yeah?
in current form,
Definitely.
That's fine,
current,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Definitely.
So these are the improved. Oh yeah, we've got Madwakey and I don't know who they sold. Who else they sold on the wing?
I don't know
Nelson-
what they were
Nelson's
thinking of
going.
that by.
What's the last?
Tomiyasu.
Madwakey or Nelson?
Madueke,
Tomiyasu.
Look, that's not like for like
Of
same
any-
position.
What do you mean?
Same
Where
position.
does Tomiyasu play, bro?
left
He
back.
plays left wing.
At the moment, Noni's an addition. There's not been a subtraction unless
Nelson's going.
Trossard goes.
Nelson
Let's Trossard goes. There you go.
I mean,
So-
Nelson's on loan actually. So
Yeah,
you're right.
recently.
Yeah,
So
Nelson's on loan.
Trossard or Madwakey, which one are you taking?
Trossard.
But Madueke isn't a replacement for Trossard. This is
it's left.
No,
it's
no,
either-
no.
you got two.
No.
You
What
got two
you're
positions.
doing? You're saying rice and peas or gungo
No, you got right and
or McDonald's.
You got
Come to your own team.
No, but
What's
what
the
he's
pizza at
saying,
McDonald's?
No, bro.
you said who's a replacement for the centre back, and I gave your name as centre back. You said no. That don't
What
make sense.
centre back? I never said it. I never said
Centre back.
it.
Left wing.
No, they
I said
got
left
about
wing. I
20
said
of them.
Noni. I said
I
Noni
don't
Madueke.
think- Madueke.
Madueke, what?
The
Who is
winger, the Chelsea winger.
he? So who is? No, he's not. It's Arsenal player. But go
now
on.
he is.
But who is he? Who is he? What?
Uh,
Who is he? What? Who is he replacing?
Yeah, who's he?
He's not
so
replacing
that's
Joe.
Trossard.
I
That's
literally
Trossard.
said
I said he's an addition.
I just
Yeah,
said
we said
there was
that.
a gap in the squad, and it's been filled.
No,
And
you're missing the part because I said I'm giving you the like for like replacements for the players that have come in.
So why have you mentioned Trossard and Madueke?
The improvements that your squad is making. So when I mentioned Partey, I mentioned Partey and Norgard. When I mentioned Jorginho, I mentioned Jorginho and Zubimendi. When I mentioned Gyökeres, I said Gyökeres and Jesus because I said, they both players. I'm using them as a striker. Or you could have put Havertz. Is the other one I could have actually said.
Basically, the main crux is the Arsenal team of last season versus the Arsenal team you have now. What is improving that you think that squad wise? I know you said that you got one. You got two. So Buddy's question is basically
my
how your players coming in
is
any
right
better?
now in the first team. You've improved the striker.
Yep.
And potentially, because I haven't seen him play, you've improved your number 6.
Okay.
Yeah, but have you answered the question though? Have you answered where do you see yourself this coming season? Because
I did. I said
top. He's at top.
I said top
win the league
and challenging.
Winning league.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these improvements have made you now the champions in your eyes.
I said that there are still gaps. So either the management or you have to purchase.
Okay.
And
You
for me,
did say that you had enough to be above Liverpool and Man City, though.
I said we need to do better than Liverpool and Man City. And I also said there are other teams that are strengthening. I'd love to mention your teams, but cool. There are other teams that are strengthening that are now going to pull points off Liverpool where they were like, for example, Brentford home and away. Liverpool are saying 6 points easy. But Brentford are now saying, well, 1 second, we know how Liverpool play. Yeah. We're now going to get a loss and a draw. Now, if things like that happen, if that's happening across the league, then you get a fairer balance. Do you know what I mean? Liverpool won the league, in my opinion, in April.
Okay.
In April, it was done. Now, and teams were like, we're playing Liverpool. Okay, so then let's just put the youth team on because we don't want our main players to get injured because Tottenham want to win Europa. Do you get what I'm saying? They weren't saying, let's go and grab 3 points off
for Liverpool.
So they were just saying, do you know what, let them do that. It's fine because our focus is this. Whereas now teams are saying,
I didn't feel
allegations are saying that they're going to be stronger and challenging for certain positions. So they have to effectively pull points off the top teams. And as long as my team does what it's been doing and your team's aiming to do the same, we need to make sure that if Liverpool are dropping points, and Man City are dropping points, we're capitalizing on them draws and on them losses.
So I'm not gonna ask everybody because we got 3 Liverpool fans there, and if we did, it'll be everybody. I went onto the Armchair Pundits podcast last year, and I said I believed we will win the league. We won the league, so I'm saying the same thing this year. I don't need to say no more than that. James, as a Liverpool fan, what do you see for this season?
We'll win the league if we sign centre-backs. Right now, our attack is fine. Even if we don't get Usyk, I think we're fine. But we've got 2 centre-backs that we can technically rely on. Van Dijk, you can rely on for the whole season. Konate missed 8 games last season. So that's good enough for someone else. But our next centre-back is Joe Gomez, who always gets injured. Then we're looking at midfielders playing there. So if we don't strengthen the back line, then we're 1 injury away from
catastrophe. Yeah. From the season we went to defend it last time.
Exactly. So for me, if we get the centre-backs in, then the league is ours. That's my opinion. Because you said that you weren't sure about our attack. I know we're short because we haven't replaced everyone.
Yeah, we haven't replaced everyone.
But I still think the way our team is set up, we will still beat teams. It may not be as easy as it was last season in certain games, but I still think we'll have enough to get the wins in the game. It just won't be as comfortable. But if we don't have backup in defence, then we're asking for trouble.
Do you know why Liverpool won a lot of games that they did at certain points? Our subs. Yeah. We was able to turn and say, you know what, Gakpo, you're not doing well. Yo, Diaz, warm up. You're coming on. Nunes, you're not doing well. Jota, you're on today. And that was our thing. In fact, do you know what? We're losing the game. Jota, Nunes, Salah, Gakpo, Diaz, all of you are on. Yeah. It's like, deal with that now. And that was how we won it. Now, this season, we're looking at it and now saying to ourselves, who have you got left? Ekitike, Salah, Gakpo. We now got a 16-year-old that's tearing up the lines and saying, we're going to put the 16-year-old in. Yo, he's 16. 17 by the season starts. Yeah, but he's 16. we can't be now sitting there saying we're relying on a 16-year-old, all right, to come and say to ourselves, he's our replacement for Diaz, he's our replacement for the Jota goals, he's our replacement for the Nunes Shocker goals. Do you know what I mean? This isn't it.
So, but that's just for people that may not understand. You're saying first 11 we're blessed. The second 11, there are areas that we need
way too many
that we need to fix.
Our midfield, I would go as far as, with the addition of Wirtz, all right, I would go as far as say it's probably the best in the league now. Do you know what I mean? Our midfield is awesome. Like Dom Szoboszlai, McAllister, Gravenberch, and Wirtz are brilliant midfielders. And we've got obviously Jones, we've got Endo there. Elliot will be gone, all right. But it's like I sit there and say to you confidently, our midfield is great. Our defense, we got probably the best centre back in the country, all right, easy with Van Dijk. We got a number 2 that's next to him to say, you know what, you're a very good number 2 in the top 5 of the best defenders in the league. I'll confidently say that as well.
Who?
Konate. All right, Ibu. He's in the top 5 easily. All right, and then you're gonna try to say to us, we brought in Frimpong, who looks decent, and we brought the best left back in the country last season. All right, in Kirkes, and obviously we got Alisson. I don't need to say nothing about him. All right. So knowing all of that, what I've just said, as you just said, at first 11, I'm confident. We've got Momo that's still there, banging in goals. Or I'll still say he's going to be top scorer next season. All right. So I sit there and say first 11, great. And if with the addition of Usyk, I think that now strengthens us. But like you said, I do think we do need centre backs, but we also need another winger. So we need a winger, we need a centre back, and we need a striker.
I think 2
We
will
100% need 3.
We'll get a centre back. We'll get a forward. And then I think the one thing is whether Usyk comes in. Regardless of Usyk, I still think we'll make 2 signings. Why they're taking so long, I'm not too sure.
Because they're waiting for Usyk.
Yeah.
And that's
literally pocket money, innit? Pocket money. So and funny you talked about transfers, because I wanted to go into transfers briefly about the transfers that have been happening. And I don't think I've seen a season where there's been so much high profile transfers in the Premier League.
Agreed.
I can't ever remember, and I don't mean high profile as in players coming. I mean as in the value of players. Who do you think's got the best transfer as we speak today? Who do you think has made the best transfer? Not the best. They've made the best additions as a team. Who do you think is the transfer
the best signing so far?
And who do you think is going to be the worst signing
so far? Oof.
I'll say Zubimendi.
Best signing. Okay.
So.
Worst signing.
Do you know, I don't pay attention to Man United.
Okay.
So I can't really comment on that.
But you're making the claim it will be a Man United signing.
Probably.
Okay.
Jeez.
That's horrible. That is a horrible.
Across the whole league, yeah.
Across the league.
Across the league, yeah.
I mean, I would say Wirtz is the best signing. I mean, technically as a player, he's out of this world. Like as just as a player, I'm not saying he's going to be top assist or top goal scorer, but I will confidently say as a player to watch, it's like we just brought the new Kevin De Bruyne into the Prem. So for me, Wirtz is going to be amazing to watch. How well he does numbers wise, I'm not sure, but he'll be definitely amazing to watch.
And the worst signing?
The worst signing. You know what? I'm not going to say it's a Man U player because I think that's just going with the theme at the moment. I'm actually probably going to go with, it's going to be a striker. I'm just not sure which striker yet. It's going to be a forward that's going to disappoint somewhere. Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't know
I've got
which
the
one's
same
going
feeling,
to
to be honest with you. I don't know who, but there's a lot of movement going on, and just obviously to caveat what you said, a lot of high-profile transfers happening, and a lot of them mean a lot to the clubs that they've come from. So it's like that as well. Do you get what I'm saying? So I think it is a hard one to call at the moment. It really is.
Yeah, I couldn't call the worst. I like the thing. I just want to put the pressure on myself as well. But don't bother.
Play the season.
I'm going to come to that. Leon, who would you say best signing, worst signing, as it stands today?
Man, best signing. I think a silent one is João Pedro to Chelsea.
True.
I think that's a style. I think the amount they pay for him, it wasn't silly money, and I think that you can see what he already done in the World Club Cup in only a few games and against top quality teams. I think he's going to be a silent one there. Worst signing. It's a difficult one. I actually think that. Who's the guy that Man United signed from Wolves?
And Burma?
No,
Cunha.
I think he's going to be a disappointment.
Wow.
Yeah, you've been saying that for a while, though. To be honest,
Do you know what? I wouldn't.
Just
I
because of the laziness.
I think he's going to
against
be a
that.
disappointment.
because of the laziness.
Yeah, I don't. He doesn't work hard enough off the ball, and that is what Amarim needs to have in this team. There's no room for passengers. So I think the amount of money they pay for him, doing it for Wolves is one thing. Doing it for Man U, where you've
Under the spotlight every minute.
I'm not sure.
Do you know what as well? Diallo. When you were talking earlier on, I was thinking of your team in my head, and I was thinking to myself, you said all these players, yeah. I'm like, well, where's Diallo fit in this? Because Diallo is probably your best player. All right.
Last
and you
season
didn't.
It was for sure.
Yeah, and I think he'll be your best player this season. All right, if he stays fit. And it's like, all right, well, you've got Diallo, then doesn't that mean Cunha or Mbeumo doesn't play?
But he's more versatile. They're looking to play.
Can't play him in the midfield.
No, but
They're
in
not
terms
playing
of
him
if they pay him in a 10 or what or wing back.
As in Diallo, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, take off what's his name? Drogo, or whatever he did, the new guy.
No, but
that they
Dogo
started.
will play on the left.
Matsuari.
Yeah, so Dogu will play on the left and Diallo will play on the right as wing backs. That's the plan, to be honest. But I hear
Enough
it.
attacking. I mean,
I'm
you know
not
what?
totally.
You know,
I'm not,
leagues, bro.
listen,
Yeah.
I'm not totally convinced on all the transfer that striker wise. I do feel like Gyökeres won't be as prolific as everyone thinks he will be.
I agree.
When you look at the stats and the numbers that he was putting up last season and in what phases of play, because he won't have the gaps that he had over there. It's probably very cliche because everyone's been saying it across media, but it's the truth. Like you don't have the same gaps in Premier League for the same amount of time.
The difference is, and this is what I say when the question came up of Gyökeres or Šeško, the conversation came up, and I said, listen, we don't need him to be banging in. Don't get me wrong, if he bangs 50 or 48 or whatever he did last season, that's great. But Arsenal don't need that. It'd be nice. We don't need that. What we need is a striker that will be competitive with the other strikers in the league. So get your 20. You know what I mean? Get your 20. And that's the difference. That's them L's to D's and them D's to W's. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
20 goals is good if he gets 20
that's
goals.
what I was gonna say.
27 goals is a high
signing.
number now. It's a high number. James, best signing, worst signing?
That's best signing. Right. If I'm not going to be biased because I'm a Liverpool fan, then I like the signing of Mbeumo.
Okay.
The worst signing, probably Noni because of the price tag. 55 million. Well, I think he got 4 or 5 goals, and one of them was a hat trick against Southampton when they were languishing near the bottom. I think
Not a bad shot.
for the level we are at, if we're bringing in wingers, those wingers need to be getting double-figure goals,
Especially if you want to win the league.
especially for that price.
Yeah.
So for me,
I just don't think he'll play enough, so I didn't really put him in my.
but if he was bought for 25 million, cool. But he's bought for 55 or 53, whatever you want
It's
to
a
call
strange
it.
one because you feel like all of Chelsea's wingers that they bought are better than Noni, and Arsenal have taken him. So
It's hard to think of someone who's going to be really poor.
I mean,
I'm weighing up the
I have
price.
to be honest. The reason why, because, and I've just got to be really honest, as a young black man getting this type of move in this type of limelight with the backlash that he's had, I'm just praying that it just goes okay.
Yeah.
I don't even need him to set the stage alight. Just go okay. And what was great, he came on yesterday in the Emirates Cup, and his first touch, the whole stadium erupted with cheer. And I thought, do you know what? That's a nice feeling for him because
Wasn't that because of the backlash he was getting before you?
and he was getting backlash by Arsenal fans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Petition.
Not just by
Protest.
petition, all this nonsense. Do you know what I mean? And I'm turning around saying, as a young black man, we need to elevate these princes. Do you know what I mean? They're the future kings, and you're gonna start knocking a man down. And his price tag, he didn't put it on him. Do you know what I mean? If you watch the Nicolas Pepe interview, and he was like, the biggest pressure he had was the price tag. He goes, I didn't value myself. You know what I mean? He goes, someone else did that. But I had so much pressure, I couldn't cope. And I'm saying, well, I hope that he just does okay. Just stay above the line. You know what I mean? But one step over that goes wrong, or you get crunched and you're out for 3 months, definitely the worst signing. And these people, these bigots, these whoever, will then feel validated. And that's why I'm just like, let's hold up the king, but the prince, to make sure he becomes a king, gets his crown. However, I respect
What was the reaction? Because I know you missed the penalty yesterday, and I saw some of the reaction wasn't great. From an Arsenal fans, what was the reaction that you saw If you,
I
if you
didn't
saw
care
what I
about
mean.
the whole penalty thing. That's a joke thing.
That was a
anyway.
farce, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
Mm.
So for me, it's when he was playing,
He looked good.
just seeing him on the ball and just seeing him do something different to Martinelli or Trossard playing on the left. I don't think he'll play there. I'll be very honest. I think
Right.
It's been alright.
he'll come on the right. You know, Saka will
Rest
get
Saka.
pulled off.
Yeah.
75 minutes, 65 minutes,
Yeah.
something like that.
Game management.
He'll
style.
come on, game management. And like one thing that I said this to Buddy, that one thing that I loved about the Man City team when they did the treble was when they had Mahrez anyway.
Mm.
But when they took off, if they said they put the substitute board up, right, the teams they're playing against was stressed because they're taking off 4 gunmen and they're bringing on 4 more gunmen. So the defender's like, oh, you know what?
No rest.
I'm not even going to run anymore because it doesn't make any sense. Do you know what I mean? And when you can take off like for like and the gas mark is on 8 and stays on 8 or goes up to 9, because now you've got fresh legs that are going to run at you for another 15 or 20 minutes, that defender is stressed.
Is
That-
he that though?
well, this
Is
is
he
what
that
you have to
though?
wait to
This
see.
is what you got
Hence
to
why
Yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
Chelsea.
I'm
I'm
not
gonna
convinced.
ease off him.
Mm.
I'm gonna let him play a few games, and then we'll see. But we're signing. I understand it because the price tag's mad. And this is gonna sound like a conspiracy theory. I think Arsenal and Chelsea got some weird pact where somehow Chelsea said, "Listen, you man owe us 300 M's over the next 4 windows. We're just gonna shot man to you. Just take them." And just be cool.
You know, laundering money, bro.
And then it's laundering the cash between the American owners, isn't it? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make any sense. But I said, yo, Prince, you know what I mean? The pressure's there. Do your thing. Good luck. But this is a football podcast, so from a footballing point of view,
Hope
I
he
hope
does,
you're wrong.
hope he does well to come second.
Yeah,
That's all.
indeed. So speaking of coming second, predictions.
Cool.
Top 5, bottom 3. And I'm looking at Leon first and foremost.
For bottom 3.
And not for any.
Oh, just-
no,
oh,
I'm saying for the predictions.
Be clear, bro. Be clear.
Yes,
be
for
clear.
the predictions.
Okay.
Or,
First and in order. First, second,
Yeah.
third, fourth, fifth. And then the bottom 3 can be in any order. Just who's going to get relegated.
so I'll go my top. You say top 4, top 5.
Top 5. Top
Top
5.
5.
Champions League places, basically.
All right, I'm going Liverpool, City,
man.
Chelsea, Arsenal.
He wants to say Tottenham, you know.
No, I don't.
No.
No, to be
But-
fair, what you said
No,
before.
I said top 6, and we ain't getting in top 5.
Who's left? We got Villa.
It's out of Villa, Man United, and Newcastle.
Mm.
Newcastle.
I don't think Villa are going
I
to
don't-
stand the test of time this season. I think
I'm
this
not
season
sure
was the
either.
season for them to do their breakthrough team.
I think Man U.
Man U. Okay.
You
Bottom
put
3?
Yeah.
Bottom 3, who do you think's going on?
Sunderland are going straight back down.
No, you know you.
No,
have to watch
no,
some of this money, you know?
Yeah,
Let him
no, I
say
think
his
they're going
history.
straight back down.
Sunderland.
Sunderland. Burnley. They don't got enough goals. They don't concede, but Premier League's different to Championship.
Mm.
And they've lost their goalkeeper. Ooh. I think Brentford might go down.
My God.
Okay.
I was gonna say Brent.
Same
Come on.
3, bro.
Yeah. So, gotta say it out loud, isn't it? Really? You know, like I've been reciting it in my head.
No, do you know
trying to
all-
manifest it, yeah?
All the eyes are on you right now.
You get what I'm
So
saying?
go on, run it.
Right. So, top 5 in no particular order.
No,
No, in order.
In order,
bro.
Yeah,
And
bottom-
bottom,
bottom's the one.
Yeah.
I gotta do it.
Bottom
innit?
can be in no order. Don't matter. But
Alright,
the top 5
who's
have to
going
be in
away?
order.
Who's going away? I'm doing it that way around. Brentford are gone. I think West Ham, they're gone. And who's the other one? Oh man, Everton are a bit worrying, to be fair. So I'm just
Nah, they're
gonna
making
say
Everton are
signings.
going to be fine.
Yeah,
With Moyes.
So
definitely fine.
I'm gonna
Get
say,
it.
but anyway, I'll say Everton. Top 5. All right, solid. So United.
What, number
Liverpool, Yeah,
Yeah, United top.
Liverpool,
You know, it's still
Man,
up.
Man City.
Bro,
He's
look
been
at
looking at the whole
no. Sorry. Look into the camera when you're saying that.
But I just got to make sure I'm doing the numbers right.
No.
Alright, cool.
You must be going 5 the other way.
No,
Simple
1
United
to
fans.
5.
Let me count my
1
fingers.
to 5.
So-
1 to 5.
United top. Liverpool very close
Newcastle
second.
United.
Third, we're going Chelsea. Fourth, we're gonna go Arsenal because they like fourth place, or at least they used to anyway. Fifth, I kind of want to say Newcastle, you know, but I don't even think they're gonna. I think losing Isak's gonna real sting them. So, did I say City already?
No.
City.
No.
So
City fifth. City fifth.
Brethren, I beg you don't bring people that don't know football in.
James,
Let's just go again.
your ones, your list, please.
Liverpool, Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea. Will Man U do enough? I can't even think of the fifth. Aston Villa, just to be different. I don't want to put Man United in there.
And the bottom three?
Bottom three, Brentford will go down. I don't trust the manager. Who else is there? Burnley will go down. And West Ham.
Wow.
Put the hammers
West
down.
Ham as well, yeah.
Buddy,
my top
five.
Top five, Liverpool. I mean, I know they like second place a lot. I just believe Pep's gonna get something a little bit right this season. So I'm gonna go City underneath that. Then I'm going to Arsenal. Too much quality. Then it'll be Chelsea. After that, you're looking. It's Castle or Villa. Castle are in Europe, and depending on how they spend in the next few weeks in the transfer window, we'll decide whether I want to put them in there or want to change my mind. If in Villa, I don't think have enough.
Right now,
Right now.
with
Right
what they've
now.
done and what
They're going to do business.
Don't feel pressurized by form
out
because there's a Newcastle
Yeah,
supporter.
yeah.
Who's making your fifth place?
They'll buy. If they lose East, they have to buy a striker.
I looked at who's out
They
there.
will buy a striker. To be fair, I'm going to say Newcastle because out of
fourth, yeah. Newcastle
that's fifth.
Oh, is that fifth, yeah.
Yeah, Newcastle's the best team out of all the rest of them because people are forgetting they've still got a very good team. So I'm not going to take that away from them. So I'm going to sit there and say, and Eddie Howe's a great manager. So I would sit there and say to myself, they'll make the top five. My bottom will be Burnley. The worst thing is I do want to say Brentford, but I like Brentford. So I'm kind of thinking I don't really want you to get
Keith
relegated.
Andrews, though. Is Keith Andrews ready?
Yeah, I just don't think he
They
is.
just lost too.
And they've lost too many
Lost
big
too
players
much.
and they're not
And their
making
staff.
enough. Yeah, so I'm like, I'm gonna have to put them down there, although I don't want them to go down. And I don't know if Leeds have the ability to stay up before I start thinking of anybody else. So yeah. That's what I
James
go with.
was going to say he wants to make an amendment.
Nah, he does
No,
this
not
every
West.
week.
No, not West Ham.
He does this every week.
I forgot about a team. Not West Ham. Wolves.
What to go
To go
down?
down.
Yeah, Wolves to go down.
Oh, the
Okay.
manager's
I'm not
decent.
sure because their
Could-
manager
could you-
done well.
Couldn't
Yeah.
you save them?
Their manager did
No, the
well.
manager's
Cunha
done.
was
When
right.
Cunha was out,
Their
they
manager
got
did
on.
well without him.
Yeah.
I don't think. If I'm choosing Wolves or West
It's up
Ham,
to you.
West Ham will stay
Okay.
up over Wolves.
Where's
Okay.
that guy now?
Citrus.
All teams coming up and going straight back down. There's no long term with that.
Sunderland spent money, you know.
I don't care. The teams that are coming up and going back down. You know what I mean? And Tongo honourable mention to Brentford because I think there's just too much movement in the club
Yeah.
at a short period. Top five: Arsenal, City, Liverpool. But I think you lot like get the same points or maybe a point in it. Then I'm gonna have to go Chelsea, and I think fifth place is gonna be like a contested position.
Yeah, it was this season.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
last
I
season.
think
Yeah,
it'd
for
be
years,
like
though.
like last game of the season.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has
there
been
were
for
4
years.
teams
Yeah.
In
that
the
can
pack.
get it in the pack.
Yo,
Do you know what I mean?
you shadow boxed past Arsenal first. I'm not gonna.
Brother,
Bro,
I
he-
don't want to hear nothing from you. You mentioned Man United at first place. Please, I'm going to leave him alone because I still wanted to go back to that. That is the worst.
Arsenal win the
prediction.
title.
Do you know what? When Liverpool won the league, nobody predicted it apart from probably Liverpool fans.
Apart from
You did.
Oh,
yeah,
well done,
yeah,
well
yeah,
done.
he did.
Because I said,
Yeah.
apart from Liverpool fans looking at it, I didn't think much people would turn and say, do you know what I mean, that the Liverpool would win it, and we breezed the title. All right. Now, as a Man United fan, seriously, you must watch near enough every game. and you see the type of football Amarim was playing, because we was doing this on the fact that we seen Slot play a little bit of football and change things.
I was about to say, because on your 15.
You know what it was? He tried to come and cut you, bro. And he was defending. Bro, I had to defend him, bro. To me, like Man United, bro.
The fifth place team is Unity.
You know, only because I like the team, I'm going to say Villa.
Okay.
What about yours?
Mine's quite straightforward. Liverpool first place, Man City second place, Arsenal third place, fourth place I believe will be Chelsea, and fifth place Man United. That's what I'm calling.
Sitting too close to him.
Not at all. And I think the relegated teams will be Sunderland, Burnley, and Brentford. Brentford are going down. Brentford have got nothing to strengthen themselves. But that's my teams. That's my list. The final thing, and we're not going to get through all of them, and I wasn't planning to get through all of them, but the final thing was, when we do have the guests,
Quick fire.
yes, quick fire.
Wow.
Quick fire, we
My
have
phone out.
a Mount Rushmore. So when we have a guest on the show, for those who don't know,
Explanation.
we'll try and have a Mount Rushmore of something along the lines for them to answer. Now, this is quite controversial, because some people were sending in all 5 selections when they were meant to be 4. I'm not going to mention.
the mountain's
I'm
big
not
though.
going to mention
You
who.
didn't say the scale of the
I
mountain.
know it weren't me.
I'm not
I know
gonna
about
mention who.
Mount Rushmore, but it's
So I'm going to start off, because I'm going to very quick fire. Best 4 Premier League players ever, Mount Rushmore. Starting with Lamont, please.
In no particular order. Andy Cole, Cristiano Ronaldo, Thierry Henry, and Alan Shearer.
I heard pure laughter over there. I'm never.
I thought he was going to say all Man United players, to be fair. I'm just surprised that you threw in a
Do
couple.
you even know the era that
Just
Chris?
carry it.
Go on.
It was them, wasn't it?
There was upset there, boy. Leon,
Same.
same thing. Best
I
4
went,
Premier League players ever.
I went Henry, Rooney, Gerrard, and Cristiano Ronaldo.
James.
I went Henry, Gerrard, Peter Cech, and Kevin De Bruyne.
Citrus.
I went Cantona, Yaya Toure, Henry, and Bergkamp.
Yaya Toure. Wow, that's a cool, you know. And Buddy.
Buddy didn't do one, but
If Buddy did make home,
Buddy did do one. Quick fire: Thierry Henry, Steven Gerrard. I would go Salah, and I would do Kevin De Bruyne.
Wow. Moving on.
Charlatan.
Best 4 players to never win a Ballon d'Or. So they're not Ballon d'Or winners. And I'm going to go straight to Citrus.
Henry, Lewandowski, Iniesta, and Robin.
It's a strong list, you know. It's a strong list. Leon.
Iniesta, Henry, Xavi, and Maldini.
I'm going to go to one of the rebels now. And when I said rebels,
They've got
Lamont.
5.
Yes, put 5. Lamont.
Iniesta. Would that just mean what I put down?
What you put down?
All right, cool.
No, you got to hear the 5th one. This is why. You have to hear the 5th one.
Maldini, Iniesta, Henry, Lewandowski,
And in brackets?
and Andy Cole. Wink.
Ah, dickhead.
This guy.
This is what I'm saying, yeah?
No,
pens.
no.
No pens.
No pens. Talk to me nice.
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or.
Ballon d'Or. Do you know what that is?
Ballon d'Or.
Ah,
Ballon d'Or.
Whatever.
James, your list, please.
Henry, Buffon, Iniesta, and Xavi.
Buddy.
I would have said Iniesta, Lewandowski, Thierry Henry, and Mo Salah.
Did I ask you Citrus?
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. So, on the Mount Rushmore again, 4 most entertaining players ever.
Badness. Yeah.
Most entertaining
Entertaining.
players ever. 4 most entertaining players ever. And I'm starting off with, again, the Rebels. Lamont, please.
Ronaldinho. Adel Tarat. Okocha. JJ. Named it twice. He's so nice. Hazard. And obviously Cristiano.
Wait, how many players is he putting on this?
Like I
I
said,
told you, the scale of my mountain, yeah, when you look at it from far, it looks
Five,
like it's 4
apparently.
people.
Rebel. James, your list, please.
Ronaldinho, Messi, Okocha, and Neymar.
Of course, it was made 2, you know.
I was just making all of them.
Yeah, he has to.
So
Andy
mine was, and this, I don't even like this guy, but all right.
Arsenal fans, I'm not gonna lie.
So-
It's a normal thing.
Tarabat. I said Balassi. I said Okocha and Ronaldinho.
Balassi, you know,
Yeah.
just because he made man touch the floor.
Oi.
Bruv,
Oh,
they
God.
man hold grass, bro.
You know,
He's
terrible. Leon, your list.
I went Ronaldinho, Pele, R9, Neymar.
Ooh, I think everyone's had Ronaldinho. I think.
I'm the
If I'm
first
right.
to say R9.
Yes, indeed.
because he's not the
That's-
most entertaining.
Buddy,
He was. He was. You have to watch
Edge
it.
of
The
your
most,
seat.
the
Edge
most
of your
entertaining.
seat.
Oh,
Baller.
no.
Edge
You
of
know
your
what?
seat,
You know what?
baller.
Because of that
That's
statement,
cool, innit?
I'm putting R9 in my list because
R9,
R9
he didn't have a list.
no
He's
R9.
saying-
JJ Kocha, Ronaldinho, all right, and I just had him the same
himself.
R9 Ronaldinho, so I didn't catch the third. So, bro.
R9, Ronaldinho, JJ's on everyone's list, bro. Yeah, you can't leave JJ out. And I had another one just now, and it just through that talking mashed me up. And I don't want to say that one.
So you should have done your homework.
No, I don't want to say that one.
Quick fire. Quick fire. That's a slow fire.
You can say what you like. You're trying to slow me down. I'm just gonna say Neymar because Neymar did enough tricks.
okay.
Neymar, man.
I'm going to go quick fire onto the best 4 English players of all time. Best 4 English players of all time. And I'll start off with James because James sounded like he wasn't very happy with his 4.
Was that- Anyway, Rooney, Gazza, Barnes, Beckham.
Is this playing for England or just
Best 4 English
English?
players of
Oh,
all
English,
time.
okay.
I haven't said for England.
Yeah.
Oh.
4
Oh.
English players
Okay,
of all
I
time.
think
For England.
Nah.
Best 4 English players of all,
Okay,
of all time.
I'll change it then.
I did
Yes.
it playing for England.
Yeah, I did playing for England as well.
So going on to Lamont.
Shearer. Look at that. Andy Cole. No pens. Come on, bro.
This keeps
Respect
that,
it,
that,
bro.
and that's the code
Wayne
in the same thing, you know.
Listen,
No
Wayne,
pens.
Wayne Rooney. Literally everyone. No, Wayne Rooney and Gerard. Stephen.
Indeed. Buddy.
Steven Gerrard, Wayne Rooney, John Barnes, personal favorite, and couldn't care less. You might as well put Shearer in there. He's top
Wow.
English scorer.
My list would have been different.
Citrus.
Rooney, Lampard, Gerrard. But I put my time because there
Agreed,
are
that's
shouts
what I
out.
did.
Yeah,
But that's
So
what
I
I did.
didn't.
There are a couple players who
Mm.
played before he was watching, so I don't want to comment on them. And I added in because I didn't want it all to be strikers. I added Rio Ferdinand as defender.
Good call, Leon.
So I went Rooney. I had to change because I thought it was just England players, but Rooney, Gerrard. I put Bobby Charlton in there, and I would have to say Beckham.
Wow, Beckham, you know. Beckham's that's a strong
Yeah,
current, you know.
yeah,
It's a strong
true.
current. He did it all
Bro.
over the world.
Yeah, he did.
All over the world. I'm gonna finish off with one more, and I'm hoping it's the one that because Citrus was saying to me, I have to have this one on there, you know, but he didn't say what one it was, so it may not even be this one. Best 4 managers.
It wasn't that one.
I know. So then you can jump onto what one it was that you want to raise up. Best 4 managers ever. Best 4 managers ever. And because you're sitting like that, buddy, I'm coming straight to you.
You're
Yeah.
gonna give me a moment to
By a
think
black-
about it.
Not at all.
Right,
By
no,
a
best
black-
managers
Should have done your homework.
of my time.
Yeah.
Best 4
all right,
managers, yes.
and of my preference, I would say Kenny Dalglish, just from when I was younger. All right. Then I would have to say Alex Ferguson because he dominated the Premier League. All right. I'd have to give. Oh, all right. In fact, I was going to give one to someone, but I don't know if I want to give it to him. I'd have to give one to Pep because for me, Pep's probably the greatest manager of all time. And then I would love to give it to Klopp. But I'm not going to. I might have to say the guy with the eyebrow, Ancelotti.
Wow.
As much as I don't really like him, I want to give it to Klopp. To be fair, I'm going to give it to Klopp because it's mine. So I'm going to give it to Klopp because it's my preference, but it's probably Ancelotti.
Okay, Leon.
I went Ancelotti, Fergie, Pep, and Jose.
Man, anyway, I was about to say you can't leave out Jose, but still,
Oh, Jose's in there,
it
man.
has to be. Citrus.
I went Jose, Fergie, Ancelotti, and Arsene.
I was going to give Arsenal. That was the other one I was thinking.
Mm.
But nah, I can't give it to him.
James.
What
I
fourth
have to
place?
change mine because now I know it's in my time.
No,
No,
it could be anything.
It's how you read it. innit?
Anything,
So,
however you want to read it.
put.
Yeah.
Then I've got Paisley, Ferguson, Guardiola, and Ancelotti.
And
I mean,
last
if I
one,
was doing
please,
my
Lamont.
time, I'm gonna do my time. I'm sorry, I've got to take out Dalglish.
Alex Ferguson. Sir Alex Ferguson. No, I'm joking. So it's Sir Alex Ferguson.
It's also Sir Kenny Dalglish, just letting you know that.
Well, you decided not to put respect on his name, bro. I don't mind.
No, that's right, I'm just letting you know. You got more.
So Sir Alex Ferguson, you got Pep, Mourinho, and Ancelotti. And I'm going to be honest, honourable mention to Wenger because
I thought you were going to say Andy Cole.
no.
No, Ben.
Yeah, there's a thing to it, but Wenger gets a shout out as well, man, because he changed the game in his time as well, man. So yeah,
How many Prems did he win?
he got the invincible thing in it. When he the one that got the invincible.
Yeah. Come on,
so,
I mean, who else has won the Premier League for them?
facts.
Mm-hmm. I think that was it, but I think no, you had one you wanted to
Nah,
go
one of
through
the
it.
best for African players.
Oh yeah,
Go
yeah,
on.
yeah. We need to
There's
do
a couple
that.
more.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, but that one,
we
I
can
said,
do that
like
one.
I said, if you're gonna miss a couple out, cool,
Okay.
but please don't miss this
Yeah.
one.
Go on.
We can finish on that.
So
even.
starting on you with that one. Oh, I've got one. I'm going to finish on. Starting on that
Oh,
one.
sorry.
Go on. No, go on.
I
Go on.
put Salah.
Yep.
Because I like him. Drogba. I put Yaya, and I put George Ware.
Bad boy.
Wow.
Jorginho,
Hey, if you didn't watch Italian football, yeah,
Yeah.
You'd
you
never
didn't
know.
watch football.
If you know Italian United, go. If you don't know like that, you don't know what I'm going. I'm talking shit.
Anyway,
But-
sorry, my bad.
All right, go on.
Lamont,
Sorry. You know what I think? I'm starting off with George Ware.
Yeah.
From time man could run from his box.
Yeah.
From
Where-
time man could run from his box.
Bro,
yeah.
he's the only one that win Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, brother.
Hey.
He ran from his box to the other box and buried it. Yeah, like, man ain't doing that.
Yeah, I
All
watched
right,
that game.
just
In
respect
Italy
it.
as well.
Drogba, Eto'o, and Yaya for me.
Mm. Leon?
Got the
Should
same,
change it,
same
man.
as Lamont, which is a surprise. Where Etu, Drogba, Yaya.
Wow.
Can't
Never
believe it.
happened.
Do you know
in
what?
us.
Never happened.
George Weah, Eto, Drogba, Salah.
Wow. Buddy.
Salah, Ware, Etu, and then I'm gonna put the spanner in the works a little bit for everybody, but somebody that kind of probably not the best African footballer of all time, but one of the most memorable in Roger Miller. But he kind
I
of
like that one.
He
He
put
does, yeah.
Africa on the map,
he
man.
put him on the map. So I have to give
Cameroon,
Roger Miller his
Yeah,
respect.
Roger Miller. And the last one I'm going to throw as a controversial one. I'm sure it's going to be controversial. Best 4 Prem strikers ever.
Oh,
Ever.
okay.
Ever. Citrus.
Shearer, Suarez, Drogba, and York.
Wow.
I was with you until York.
James.
Henry, Suarez, Aguero, Rooney.
Lamont.
Thierry Henry, Alan Shearer, Wayne Rooney, and Andy Cole. No pens.
There's a theme here, isn't it? There's a definite theme here. Leon.
Shearer, Aguero, Rooney, Henry.
Oh,
Buddy.
agree with that, but I'm trying to work out who I want to take out to put in Suarez.
Wow.
That's what I was trying. I was like, I have to put
And the
Suarez
great,
in.
the great thing is, I just want to add a little caveat. You know, Henry's a right wingish
What?
kind of,
No.
Right wing is.
but he played a variety of positions. So
He played where he wanted.
because of that, I ranked him in the questions that you're now not going to answer. I was like, let me try and mix it up a bit. So just to allow, so I get what Buddy's saying, but for me, when
Suarez.
Suarez was on the pitch and Drogba was on the pitch, every single
Defender.
team
Yeah, knew about it.
just said, I mean, don't get wrong, Henry as well, but
Mm.
when you know, you
Just
just
simple Suarez
just
season.
there.
He was the Ballon
It was
d'Or.
dumb.
just causing problems every single game.
Just to go back to what we said in the beginning when we said about the Ballon d'Or list, who was the best player, not what he achieved because he didn't win anything at Liverpool at that point,
Fair enough.
but he was guaranteed the best player that season. It wasn't Messi, it wasn't Ronaldo, it was Suarez. Suarez was the best that season.
Do you know what I'm really surprised about?
Oh, the
Super
Something-
Suarez season, yeah.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
I'm really surprised no one said Harry Kane, the best
I'll
striker.
get out there.
No. You know what it is? Everyone can say that now, but one thing we can't argue,
good with
when Kane
numbers.
was on the pitch,
Mm.
Kane is scoring.
He's a good
And
striker,
and
not
with
the
not a
greatest.
great team.
This is what I'm
Let's be
saying.
You
honest.
know what it is?
So
He's
that's
a good
what
striker, but he's
nobody
not
mentioned
the
Harry
greatest,
Kane.
though.
But you know what it is? It's like, so if I would have taken out Shearer. Only because Shearer is the greatest scorer in the Premier League history, but he's just not my. Yeah, I've got others.
I've got him in my.
I put him in based on numbers. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
the numbers
yeah.
are like, and he played in big games and was a big game player.
But the
It wasn't
difference-
like he shied away from
True,
it.
but the difference is, he scored a bag of pins. Some man didn't.
But
You in this pen team? You not pen for your semi-pro team, yeah?
But the only thing, the addition to that is, and this is why Kane didn't make it onto my list, is everyone I mentioned on my list dragged their team to a title.
Agreed.
They dragged the team to a title. So you can do whatever you want,
Yeah, it's true.
but they dragged their team to a title. So yeah, you can score goals and score goals and score goals, but if you didn't take
them
the team by
appropriately.
the scruff of the neck and drag them into a title,
Whatever the title looks like.
whatever that looks like,
True, I agree.
then that's
fair.
why I had to omit him.
Honestly, I know people don't rate. I think a lot of people saw the Newcastle Shearer, but Blackburn Shearer
Yeah.
was no joke.
It was
no
a long
joke.
day.
If you
At
take
all.
It was a
one
long day.
finish,
No joke.
And am I right in thinking Shearer's the only striker to have scored 100 Premier League goals for 2 different teams?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's madness.
shooter.
Madness. I don't business. Even with his bad knees, and when he was all 32, 33,
Problems.
Still bagging
16,
goals.
17
Still
goals.
bagging.
No.
Stepping up
No.
for free
Still
kicks. you know.
bagging
No.
goals.
He
Honestly.
was one of the first strikers. Not I say one of the first. Obviously, he was. But
Yes.
you know what I mean. Like as in, all right, striker set piece. That's normally a midfield tick. No, I'm gonna beat this shot off.
I'm gonna see that.
Keeper has to move.
Yeah.
Like he's not even trying to save that.
No, honestly, this has been a really, really engaging, and there's so much more stuff still to go into. But as with anything, when it comes to football is so all-encompassing. There's so much things that you can cover. There's so much things you're not going to cover, and I'm sure probably at some stage in the future we'll be having another link up again. This has been really enjoyable. But shouts out to the Armchair Pundits that are here, our guests for this week. Don't forget to follow them on Instagram at the Armchair Pundits and also on YouTube. Don't forget to
And
also
TikTok.
subscribe and
TikTok as
TikTok.
well.
Yeah, indeed. Don't forget to also follow us on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, the eMpTy Podcast. This has been the eMpTy Podcast. And if the glass ain't half full,
It's
It's
empty.
empty.
Season starts.
season starts, man.
Yeah.